I'm back. Yes, I'm back. Welcome, welcome. Yes, to another unknown episode of Roll the Tape Podcast with Manager Marty. I miss y'all so much. I've been off of YouTube, as most of you know. I've been off of YouTube now for about, I think, a smooth week and a half, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I know it was at least a minimum of 1 week. And I'm just so happy to be here. All is well. I'm just so excited. I missed y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all know me. I keep it all the way 100. From top to bottom, 10 toes down. I want to say this from the bottom of my heart. I really missed y'all. Seriously. I really missed y'all. I was not on YouTube at all. I was not on YouTube um, at all. I'm just starting to catch up to a little bit about what's going on thus far on YouTube. The last time I was here, we had Rachel Donier here. We had World Combat Sports here on the panel as well. We had YSM Sports Media on the panel as well. We had D-Town Boxing was also on the panel. I hope I'm not missing anybody else. We had other people that were on the panel, but those were the content creators that was on the panel. We had a great live. As many of you already know, a very close and dear relative of mine um, expired recently. So I've been dealing with, the bereavement process of that with my family. I want to say this before I start this podcast tonight. I want to say thank you for everybody who called me, everybody who emailed me, everybody who reached out through YouTube in the comment sections, on the community pages, with your condolences, your support. I have not published any content for a whole week. I want to say thank you all. Even if you didn't know, but you just found out tonight and you're in the chat and you're saying RIP and condolences, I want to tell you all from the bottom of my heart, from my family to yours, I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank y'all so much. I usually don't broadcast any of my personal business on YouTube or anything like that. I try to maintain professionalism and make sure I keep it boxing. But most of you that know me on YouTube and some of you that know me personally, like on a personal level, know I'm a people person. I'm very transparent. You know, I always try to give some form of um, humanistic approaches when I deal with certain topics, and I always bring up spiritual principles, right? You see me drop certain nuggets, and that's because of the type of person that I am. And so here and there, you might see me drop, something personal about me and some references or examples or metaphors that I use. So I want to say thank you all. I see the numbers. I miss y'all so much because I haven't said any of my slogans lately. But I see the numbers increasing exponentially tonight. And you know what? I think y'all miss me too. And the reason why I say that is because I'm looking at the chat. I'm looking at how much feedback we're getting tonight, the viewership, the chats. I salute to all of you that's participating in the chat. I miss all of you. Thank y'all so much for your support and just, words of encouragement. Even if you didn't have any of my contact information and you still, wanted to reach out, but you didn't have a way to, I still want to thank you just for having the thought of supporting. So I'm just excited about just being back here tonight. Um, so I just been falling back, just trying to regroup, get my thing together here, get back on my time schedules and, do what we do. And now I'm back. And so I'm excited to see all of the support in the chat, all the love that's just reverberating all on the channel through the viewership, the comment section. If you're watching a replay of this live, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section below. How many times I'm going to tell y'all I miss y'all? Y'all might hear me say it about 3 or 4 times this evening. I really miss you guys and ladies. I miss this whole YouTube family, this YouTube community. I haven't dropped not one piece of content. And so, with that being said, you know your boy needs some help to support the channel. So, I'm looking forward to the fiduciary support that I'm going to receive this evening so that we can continue to build this platform to provide entertainment and, of course, education value to everybody all across the world. And I am talking about through super thanks, super chats, and even Cash App. I'm thanking you all in advance for those of you that are going to contribute and donate to the channel tonight. Whether I've been off of the platform or not, we still have people who have been donating and contributing to this channel. And I want to say thank you to everybody that have been contributing to this channel, not just with your financial resources, but also with the most valuable asset in the world, and that is your time. So I wanted to do that. And while I'm doing that, speaking of time, I wanted to also um, point out something else that I discovered through an email that I received over the past couple of days. But once again, I haven't been on YouTube, so I haven't gotten the opportunity to share this, but I'm going to do it right now. And that is the fact that I want to say thank each and every last one of you. It is only because of you, I'm talking about you right now, you in the chat, talking about you watching this channel, yes, I'm talking about you. Whether you agree with the things I say or not, whether you have thrown shots at me in my comment sections or not, whether you've gotten on this panel and we've gone back and forth or not, whether we had a YouTube beef. And you know I'm one of the most controversial members on YouTube, right? When it comes to the boxing community. But needless to say, you all are included. Even if you just view just to spy on me, even if you view just to take notes from some of the educational perspectives that you've learned on this chat, no matter what your reason and motivation was, even if you just came to support the channel by viewership, I want to tell you that every one of you, and those of you watching the replay of this live, I'm including you as well. You are included in this milestone on your screen right now. And I want to say thank you. Irregardless of what your motivation is or was, I thank you. It is because of you. And at the end of the workday, you come here to support me, and I appreciate it. 500,000 views. Now, if you do the math, some of you already know this. Most of you may not. Most of you may. Some of you may not. Bottom line is, I've been on YouTube as a quote unquote content creator since October of 2022. So that might not be a big deal for some, people who are used to seeing bigger channels in the boxing community on YouTube, and I know I have a very small uh, uh, platform when it comes to subscribers, but I want to share something with you all. I have a very medium-sized audience, and the proof of that is what you see on your screen. And so I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for your support and your viewership. Now, if my math serves me correctly, I've only been on YouTube just producing content for 7 months, right? But I've only been an official content creator for the last 4 months, all right? Or 4.5 months to be exact. So 4.5 months of me being an official content creator. And most of you know exactly what I mean when I use those terms. But for overall, as far as content publishing, I've been doing this now for about 7 months. And so I want to thank each and every one of you for the milestone of 500,000 views on this channel. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. With that being said, that segues me into what I like to call our Town Watch check-in. I missed you all so much, so I cannot wait to see who we have in the building tonight. If you're just joining this channel on the replay of this live, you can also participate in the comments section below. And if you're watching or viewing this podcast for the first time, let me explain to you very briefly what I mean by Town Watch check-in. What I mean, most of you already know this, but I wanted to reiterate it to those that are just viewing the channel for the first time. And if you're just joining the live right now, you can participate as well. All are welcome. Our Town Watch check-in basically is something that we do in the chat where we identify where we are from or where we are located by city, state, island, and or country. And what I will do is I will publicly acknowledge every location where you're from and or where you are located that you reveal in the chat because of one reason and one reason only. No matter what we agree with or disagree with on this platform, guess what I like about the Town Watch check-in and what it does? It provides all of us an opportunity to do two things. Number one, participate in the chat, right? And also number two, which probably is more important than number one, it allows us all to acknowledge that we have one thing in common, and that is our love for the sport of boxing. So I'm going to start it off. Chat, you already know how to do it. Let's do it right now so I can acknowledge where you're from. I told you earlier I miss you, and I want to see where we are tonight so that I can acknowledge you all because I miss you. And I'm glad that you are all here with me tonight. So I'll start it off. Y'all know I'm representing the big states of Texas, the Mansfield section of Arlington. Most of you from Texas know exactly where that's at, but I'm representing the entire DFW by way of my hometown. And y'all know how I feel about my city, Philadelphia, the state of Pennsylvania. I just started it off. Where are you from? Where you located? I see my guy Byron. Miss you, Byron. See you in the chat. Dallas, Texas is in the building. Who else we got in here on our Town Watch check-in? Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Y'all know y'all don't have to dust your feet off, right? When you come in here, right? You know you don't have to ring the doorbell, right? I haven't said that in a while. That just sounds so good. Because you are all welcome. You are all welcome. South Dallas, Texas, I see you. Houston, Texas, I see you. Right here on the East Coast. DC in the building. Vancouver, Washington, Vantucky to be exact, is in the building. Who else we got in here? Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Check on in. Yeah, I see you, 40th Street. The United States of America is in the building, representing the whole country. I see you. Come on in. Baltimore, Maryland. Y'all know Baltimore is in the building. I see you. All the way from Long Island, New York is here. Come on now. Who else we got? I know we got somebody from the West Coast in the building. But before I do that, I know we got some Midwest from Detroit is in the building. Oh, man, BX. You know what they say? BX or B next. Bronx, New York is in the building. Who else we got? Oh, my guy, Mike. Hey, salute, Mike. I see you in the chat. Maryville, Indiana, in the building. South Carolina is here. Who else we got? Who else we got? Dallas, Texas in the building. Who else we got? Woo! We got come on now, we Midwest. I said Detroit. We got St. Louis in the building. Yes, indeed. Charleston, South Carolina is here. Right next door from my hometown of Philly. South Jersey's here. Who else we got? Kenosha, Wisconsin is here. All the way from Virginia Beach, Virginia is in the building. Yes, indeed. Who else? Did I forget? Yep, I forgot somebody. I forgot Big Mike. I can't forget Big Mike representing Charleston, South Carolina. Can't forget him. Come on in. Who else we got in here? Oh, my energy level is on a beam tonight. We got some good boxing to talk tonight. We got some good business of boxing to talk tonight. Oh, yes, indeed. Who else we got in here? Come on, y'all. Don't stall the chat out. Don't stall the chat out. Come on in. The numbers are increasing exponentially. Absolutely. Yes. I know somebody missed me out there. I miss y'all too. Miss you. Oh, we're going to talk some boxing. I miss talking about boxing. I haven't talked about boxing in like a week and a half. Woo! Let's go. Let's go. I ain't been back in the boxing gym in a week and a half. Woo! Cincinnati, Ohio in the building. I see you. Who else we got in here? Yes, indeed. And by the way, from Cincinnati, Ohio, I see him in there. My guy, Big Dose 513. Big Dose. Come on, Big Dose. I ain't forget about you, Big Dose, okay? Email me. Oh, Big Dose, real quick. I know I'm going all over with. I'm all over the place, y'all, tonight, all right? I'm going to bring it back in. But Big Dose, most people don't know this, Big Dose. Houston is in the building. I see you, H-Town. Most people don't know this, Big Dose, right? But some of y'all do. Y'all know I haven't done it in a while, but I can rap. I spit bars. I haven't been in the recording studio in years. I'm rusty, but I know if Big Dose send me another beat, if Big Dose, because Big Dose make beats, y'all. Go on his channel, see the beats that he make. Okay, he makes some nice beats. Send me one of them down south Jones, man. Oh, we say Joan in Philly, y'all. If y'all know what that means. Send me one of them beats, man, so I can spit something for YouTube. I was about to do an acapella tonight, a freestyle tonight, but I'm too hyped right now. I might do something for y'all on Friday. Yes, indeed. Brooklyn, New York. BK in the building. In the building. Who else we got in here? Woo! The Queen City is in the building. Charlotte, North Carolina. Yes, indeed. I see you. Where we at? Hey, Big Dose. Email me that beat, man. I got something for y'all Friday. I might spit a couple bars for y'all on Friday, right off the top of the dome. You know. I was going to do a little something tonight, but I'm all over the place. I just want to talk boxing because I miss y'all, so I'm all over. Where else? Where we at? Where we at? Carl Brown is in the building. What's up, Carl? Miss you, bro. Who that? Who that? VA? I see you in the chat. Virginia back in the building. Yes, indeed. Did I say Charlotte, North Carolina? I think I did, but if I didn't, I'm going to say it again. Charlotte, North Carolina in the building. Oh, they got my guy, Crown Jewel Boxing. I miss you, Crown. What's up, Crown? Miss my bull Crown, man. Who else we got in here? Let me see what's up in here, man. Come on, y'all. Come on. We got one more minute. Who else we got in here on our Town Watch check-in? I miss y'all. Tonight. We're going to talk some boxing this evening. We're going to talk some business of boxing this evening. Come on in. Come on in. My man, I got you. Big Dose. Big Dose said he going to send me that beat tonight. So, all right, I'm going to check it out before I go to bed tonight after the show, bro. Just send me something. You can send me a down south joint, send me an upbeat joint. Send me something, man. I'm going to go in the booth. I'm going to lay something, put a little intro together. You know, I'm gonna need some people to help me with the intro. You know, I see everybody got intros now on YouTube, so I feel like I'm, lagging behind, but I'm going to put something together. Who else we got? Hold up. Somebody just said something from the Valley Stream, New York in the building. I see you. Yes, indeed. Who else we got in here? Hold up for a minute. Fayetteville, North Carolina. I see you in the chat. Yes, indeed. Let me get this out the way real quick. Got to support my people as they support me. David Williams, thank you so much for being the first one to contribute to the channel. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel as the viewership is increasing exponentially. David Williams says, more than glad to hear your voice, my brother. Much respect. Manager Marty shared that boxing knowledge. I certainly will, Dave. Thank you so much, Dave, for your contribution. And if you're joining us live and in living color right now, I want to thank you in advance because I know there are people that are going to contribute to the channel, that are going to donate to the channel this evening. Most of you already know I have not been on here for a week, probably a week and a half, but I'll say a minimum of 1 week. I have not published any content. So my channel has been lagging from a fiduciary standpoint, but I know we have supporters here tonight, and I thank you so much in advance for your contribution that you're going to make this evening on this channel. Decatur, Illinois is in the building tonight. Who else we got in here? I don't want to miss nobody. Ooh, Galveston, Texas is in the building tonight. Who else we got in here? Carl Brown, already in the chat with the contribution. Thank you so much, my man Carl. Carl says, real is real, my brother. Absolutely. Yo, what's up, Dion? I see you, sweetheart, in the chat. All the ladies that's in the chat, all the ladies that's viewing this channel, even on the replay of this live, I want to salute to you. as well, ladies. Thank you for your contribution and your support and viewership, not to just this channel, but also to the great sport of boxing. Thank you very much. Uh, Good to see you again, Dion. Um, if you're just joining us, Dion gonna pause. So sweet of you, Dion, with the three hearts. Thank you so much, Dion. If you're just joining the live, you may have missed it a few minutes ago. And so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post something so that you all can get an opportunity to see it. I see you, G County 409 is in the building. I see you. Tulsa, Oklahoma is in the building. What's up, Dungeon Talk? Good to see you, Dungeon. Who else we got in here? True Native A. Thank you for your contribution to the channel and your support and viewership. True Native, thank you so very, very much. And that segues me into thank you. That was a super sticker, by the way, from True Native A. Thank you so much. Yes, Yimmy, I don't recall seeing your name in the chat. I don't know if this is your first time joining us, but yes, Yimmy, we are going to talk about Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. Oh, yes, we are. We're going to talk about it. We got to talk about Bud and EJ. We have to. It's very relevant. It's very, very relevant. I know you said it's irrelevant, but I promise you, I'm going to make it relevant tonight. Okay? Dallas, Texas is in the building. So what I was basically saying was um, there was an email that I received since I've been off YouTube, and I want to make sure that everybody that's joining live get these flowers and be able to smell them while I'm giving them to you, because it's all for you. This is an email I received a few days ago. Thank you so much. As the Oh my God, y'all know how I feel about when the viewership is increasing exponentially. Thank you all. And I said this earlier, I'm going to say it again real quick before we move on. Even if you view this channel as a hater, as a spy, as a detractor, as a person who didn't agree with me, if you came on a panel on this channel and you didn't agree with me about anything, or I did have so-called, they call it YouTube beef, right? But three other guys, they are a part of the viewership as well. They are a part of this number that you see on your screen. Everybody's a part of this number, regardless of the reason of why you view this channel, whether you like me or not, whether you agreed or not. Let me tell you from the bottom of my heart, thank you. 500,000 views. I know that might not seem a lot. It might not seem like a lot to some people because I do have a very small channel considering my subscribers numbers, but I have a very medium-sized audience though. So that is a lot to me. That's a big deal to me. 500,000 views. Most of you may not know this. If you do, that's great. If you don't, I'm going to share this with you. I have been publishing content on YouTube since October of 2022. However, which was 7 months ago. However, I have been an official content creator for the last 4.5 months. Okay, most of you know what the words content creator represents, right? And you already understand the contributions and donations and all of those great fiduciary support measurements that we receive here on the channel. So that's why I'm saying content creator for the last 4.5 months. But this is the total since I've been on YouTube as a YouTube publisher, and since October of 2022. So that is the 500,000 views. Thank y'all all so much. Irvine, California. I knew somebody from the West Coast was here somewhere. Irvine, California is in the building. Yes, indeed. I don't know if it's happy belated Mother's Day, but happy belated Mother's Day, if that even makes any kind of sense. But happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers, grandmothers, godmothers, surrogate mothers, adopted mothers that are on this channel right now or watching a replay of this live. I salute you all. I haven't been here, so that's my way of saying salute to you all. Thank you all in the chat for congratulating me. I really, really appreciate it. None of those views would be possible if it wasn't for you. You all, irregardless of whether we agree or not, irregardless of whether you like me or not, or irregardless if we had a quote-unquote YouTube beef or dispute in the past, I appreciate your viewership, and you all motivate me to basically continue to do what I'm doing and rearrange my schedule and my busy life that I have going on sometimes to be able to produce content and provide two things, my two E's, entertainment, and of course, most importantly, education. So thank y'all so much for your support. Let's get into some boxing right now. Let's get right into it. Uh, let me do this real quick. I gotta unstar some of this stuff so I won't be distracted. Um, okay, so we already know. I think first things first. We got to talk about the fight that's happening this Saturday evening, on May the 20th. Yes, Electric Agitator. Haven't seen you in a while. Electric, one of my supporters on the channel. Good to see you. He always says edutainment. Yes. Edutainment. So yes, the fight between Lomachenko and Devin Haney. And we're going to talk about it tonight because it's a big fight. It is a big fight. It's happening this Saturday night. It's on ESPN Plus. I believe it's ESPN Plus, which is the pay-per-view arm of ESPN. Um, I think it's $55 or $59. I think, don't quote me on, it's either one of those. But I do know that this is a big fight. I do have some questions though with regards to Devin Haney. Devin Haney did a recent, well, it wasn't an interview. It was more so him, but let me not just say Devin Haney. It was both Devin Haney and Lomachenko. I might sound like I'm all over the place, y'all. I'm just catching up, all right? But Devin Haney and Lomachenko, they did it's like a 24-hour, what is it? It's like a 24/7 that HBO did when HBO was around, like an all access that Showtime does. I forgot the name of it, but it's on ESPN. They do it. It's on YouTube. Top Rank usually publishes it on YouTube. It's not called Around the Ring, where they go in the camps of both fighters and dig into their lives and their backstory, and this is all form of promotion for the fight. I forgot what it's called, but I watched it yesterday, and I know I was a few days late, but I watched it yesterday, and Devin Haney and Lomachenko, both of these guys look like they're in tip-top shape. Let me say this real quick. The link is in the chat. I believe it's still pinned to the chat. So y'all know what that means. If the link is pinned to the chat, you know this is an open panel tonight. Feel free to come on. But I really wish Devin Haney did and said certain things a little bit different to build up not just the fight, but to build up his stock for after the fight. I will explain that in just a few moments, but first I want to get your take on it in the chat. First question, who do you all think is going to win this fight, Devin Haney or Lomachenko? Tell me in the chat. Real Spill Midwest Boxing Talk. Salute. I see you in the chat. Good to see you again. Who do you all think or have winning this fight between the youngest undisputed champion in the history of the four belt era, Devin the Dream Haney, and Lomachenko? Two people said in the chat already, Devin Haney is going to win. One person said by unanimous decision. Thank you, Big Dose, for that. Yep. Big Dose is one of the people that taught me how to post the link correctly and accept the guest. Thank you again, Big Dose. I see you in the chat. So I got four people. Thank you, Dion, for your comment as well. Says Devin Haney. Faithius. Haven't seen you in a while, Faithius. Salute. I see you. Most people are saying Devin Haney. But somebody said that Devin Haney might win by stoppage. You're the first person that I ever heard say that, David Williams, that Devin Haney was going to win by stoppage. Most people are saying that Devin Haney is going to win by unanimous decision. Everybody in the chat is basically saying that Devin is going to win. And we know that Devin Haney is the bigger, stronger fighter in this fight. We do know that. That's a fact. We also know that Devin Haney is a very special talent. There's not too many special talents in this sport. You have some good fighters, you have great fighters, and then what I like to call special fighters. And it's only a handful of like special fighters. The ones that have that it factor in the ring, and they have so many different technical skills. And when they put it all together, it just makes them special. One person um, is picking Loma. One person is picking Loma. I was going to talk about that, Crown. Let's deal with that right now. So people that's saying that Devin Haney might get a stoppage. I have a question about that. Oh my gosh, y'all should see this on my end. Y'all going to see this when this goes off, when this live broadcast goes off. Y'all going to see that the viewership is increasing and the support is here. Do Devin Haney need a stoppage? Even if you don't think he's going to get a stoppage, does Devin Haney need a stoppage to basically increase his stock, put people on notice in the 135-pound division, to make a statement, so to speak? Does he need a stoppage? That's the question I had for the chat. If you're watching the replay of this live, that question is posed to you as well. Does Devin Haney need a stoppage to win this fight? And I'm asking that for several different reasons, mainly for business purposes, of course. And secondly, because the last time I talked about this, people were in the chat. This was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. People were in the chat saying, not tonight. I don't know if somebody said it tonight yet, but I know in the last broadcast when I talked about the Lomachenko and Devin Haney fight a few weeks ago, some people were saying that it's a possibility that Devin Haney might get robbed by the judges. So that's another reason why I'm asking, does Devin Haney need a stoppage? Does he need to stop Lomachenko? Does he need to knock him out? Or does he just need to just be impressive and win and fully dominate throughout the entire duration of the fight? What's your take on it in the chat? I know some of you are saying that Devin Haney doesn't have enough power to stop Loma. So you have Devin Haney by decision. But does he need one, though? So, okay, I see somebody in the chat says he doesn't need a stoppage because he didn't need it against Kambosa. Okay. Somebody else said that he doesn't need a stoppage, but he needs to do it convincingly, or else he may be robbed. Yeah, so does he need a stoppage? Some of you are saying, no, he doesn't. Okay, let me ask you this question then. What is the likelihood of Devin Haney getting robbed in the ring by the judges? When I say robbed, I got to say that because YouTube will flag this and say, wait a minute, you can't use violence, right, as a form of reference. So what I'm referring to is the judges are not going to give Devin Haney a fair shake because of the popularity of Lomachenko. So is it a possibility that he can be quote unquote robbed? Philly Fight Doctor, what's up, Philly? My God, Philly Fight Doctor. I agree with that, Philly Fight Doctor. I do. I agree with that. People are saying a robbery is highly likely in the chat. Let me tell y'all what I think. Let me tell you what I think. Let me tell you what I think. Before I tell you what I think, Big Dose wants to come on. I'm gonna let Big Dose on. Hold on, Big Dose. Before you come on, let me do this. That show my face in the place. You know I can't bring no guests on without showing my face, right? Got to show my face. I haven't seen you all in a while. So excited to see you all live in living color. If you're just joining this live, I welcome you. I appreciate your viewership. We are now at 500,000 views for 7 months of content publishing. And it's all because of you. So thank you again. If you're just joining the replay of this live and you missed me giving you your flowers, thank you so very much. Let Big the panel. Big Dose, what's up, brother?
What up, family? What's up with you, Manager Marty? What's going on, bro?
I'm doing much better. I'm doing very well, man. Thank you for asking.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, I know you from Philly, right?
Oh, all day. Yes, sir, Philly.
So I was wondering if you been in the gym lately with Boots?
I haven't seen Boots or Mr. Posey in a little minute. The last time I talked to Mr. Posey, I did tell him I'm gonna stop by the gym because he was like, "Yo, I ain't seen you in a while. Come out of the gym. Come
Yeah.
stop and see me." So I did give him my word as a man that I was going to stop in the gym and see him. So I gotta keep my word. But no, I haven't. I haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah, I was just wondering, man. You know how Boots was doing and stuff. How he coming along? He got a fight coming up.
I'm hearing things, but I can't confirm or deny. I really don't know, but I am hearing things though.
Man, wouldn't it be something to get him on the undercard of Spence and Bud if that ever get made?
Oh, oh,
And then
absolutely.
Frank Martin. Oh man, I love Frank Martin and Keyshawn Davis.
Oh,
I take that
absolutely.
all day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that that'll be a good business move for all parties involved.
Hey, you know what?
All parties
Hey,
involved.
you know what'll even be doper though? What's up, fam? What's up with you?
What up?
Hey, you know what'll even be doper though?
What's that, big dog?
Frank Martin and what's his name?
What like that?
Over there with Keyshawn Davis, Keyshawn big brother.
Oh, I thought you talk about Keyshawn.
Nah, Keyshawn big brother, the one he always co-signing for. Damn, I can't even think of his name right
Oh,
now.
Shakur Stevenson. Shakur
Yeah,
Stevenson.
Shakur. He's Frank and Shakur. Cause you know, Shakur
That
is
that
like Bud little against Spence Spider. And then Spencer Crawford fight on that night too. That'd be fire,
yeah,
bro. That'd
yeah,
be
that
fire.
would
Them two fights alone be worth 100 to me, or
yeah,
better,
Oh yeah.
or better,
yeah,
easy.
Totally agree. We got
yeah.
Carl Brown here at the bottom of our screen. We got Jimmy. I think YouTube name is Thor. Hope I'm not mispronouncing that. Welcome to the channel. I think you was on here before, Thor, a while ago. I think I've seen your name somewhere. Before I say anything else, there's somebody in the chat that I want to salute, that I want to acknowledge, and that's my homegirl, Rachel Donaire, all the way from the Philippines. What's up,
Come on up,
Rach?
Rachel. Come on up,
What's up,
Rachel. I
Miss
ain't never been
Rachel
on a
down
panel with you.
there? What's going on? She got to come on the panel, bro. All that knowledge she got.
Oh, absolutely. Rachel knows anytime she want to come up, she can. She's more than welcome.
Yeah, that's if she
Um,
want to. My bad.
no, she's more than welcome. Let me say this about Devin Haney, and I want all three of you guys to take since you're on the panel. Did you all see the I forgot what it's called. I just saw it yesterday. It's not called All Access. That's Showtime.
Oh, you
HBO
talk
had
about
24/7, but
um
it was
I with Devin
Blood,
Haney and
sweat, and
Loma,
tears. Yeah,
yes.
it's called Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
sweat, blood, and tears, y'all.
yeah. Blood,
Oh,
sweat, and
somebody
tears.
in the chat was
Blood,
saying
sweat, and tears. Because you heard Bill Haney say that several times when he was interviewed by Top Rank before the series ever came out. So they got that straight from Bill Haney.
Y'all can still hear me?
okay. Yeah,
You
we
can
can
still
hear
hear
you.
me?
We can hear you, Carl. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right,
So
because I put my
somebody in
Bluetooth
the
on.
chat, somebody in the chat was saying blood, sweat, and tears, but I thought that they were talking to each other. I seen two people saying it, but they were talking to me, so I apologize. So okay, blood, sweat, and tears. There's something that um Devin Haney said in the blood, sweat, and tears, and he's also said it in a different interview. And I want to help the young brother out from a business perspective. So he was saying that basically Lomachenko, is not who he's saying, who he's been saying he was. He's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
chasing him for 4 years. He's been chasing Lomachenko to get the fight since he was 20 years old. And he's a small guy, and he did an interview with Brian Custer. I saw that yesterday as well, where he talked about Lomachenko being a naturally smaller guy, and he think after this fight Lomachenko should just stay in the lower weights and not try to compete at 135. And when I heard both of those things that Devin Haney said from a business aspect, it kind of made me cringe as a boxing manager. And the reason why is because even if that's how Devin feels, and I'm sure that is how he feels, when you have a fight of this magnitude, even if you know the fighter is much smaller, even if you know the fighter's over the hill, even if you know the fighter is a little bit older than you, even if you know that Lomachenko has lost a step in his game, you're not supposed, as the opponent, you're not supposed to publicize it in the buildup of the fight. I'm going to tell you why. Because from a business perspective, you start decreasing your value when you do win. In other words, is the fans are not going to be motivated to pay $59 if
Right.
they believe that you're just going to come out and just whitewash them, right? You're just going to come in and just dominate them. So that's number one. Number two, from a business standpoint, when you do beat them, Dev, you know, people are going to say the same thing that you said before you beat him. Oh, you ain't going to get no credit, Dev, because he was too small
Yep.
for you anyway, and even you said it. You're not going to get no credit, Dev, because you even said he's over the hill, and the guy's almost closer to 40 years old.
Right.
Dev, you even said that he lost a step in his game as far as his talent. So you don't get no credit for winning. So what I would say is don't say anything. What you do is what we like to call a reverse psychology
And
in
just let it
business or
happen.
boxing, where you start acting like you believe in the fighter. You believe in the opponent. Yo, man, he's the best thing since sliced bread. I want y'all to keep saying he is who y'all been saying he is so that when I beat him, I get my full credit. So Lomachenko is who y'all say he is. He is a highly decorated amateur. He has a great pedigree in 19 professional fights or 20 fights or whatever that he's had. He only has one loss. The guy is just that good. He's technically
He
sound.
got,
You got a
he got
big
two
up.
lost.
2 losses, my apology, 2 losses. So you want to build up your competition, even though you know in your heart he or she really don't have nothing for you, because once you beat him, you'll get the direct credit that you deserve. And on top of that, you will be able to raise your stock up, and people won't feel like they're cheated by paying $59 or $55 for you to just go in there and dominate it. Big Dose, what's your take on that? Then we'll go to Jimmy and then Carl. Tell me what's your take on what I just said on that part, like as far as marketing the fight from Devin Haney's standpoint.
Man, you spoke nothing but facts, straight facts. I mean, that's why if you observe Bill Haney don't never downplay no opponents. He always say that they're a great fighter and it's an honor to be fighting them and it's going to be a hard fight. He never downplays one of their opponents. Dev is definitely misstepping with these quotes that with these things that he's saying. It's you taking away from yourself, man, when you do stuff like that. I mean, if you say this guy's old, you say this guy ain't what he used to be, then when you beat him, you get credit for what you say the guy is. That's just straight common sense. And whoever is his PR should be telling them that. They failing him by not telling him. That's what I say.
Okay, Jimmy, what's your take on it, Jim?
To be honest, bro, I agree with you 100%. I think the problem is Devin Haney's still a young man, so he hasn't really mastered the promotional curve of boxing. So maybe he was just talking sort of unfiltered. But I guess it was the same with Lomachenko when he fought Rigondeaux. Right after the fight, they asked him, "Was this your best victory?" And he said no because Rigondeaux was a much smaller man coming up in weight. So sometimes a lot of these boxers don't really, I guess, know how to promote their win in the best way. But to be honest, bro, I've seen Devin Haney in other interviews say this guy was the number one pound for pound guy. He's a future Hall of Famer. So when I beat him, I want all the credit. But he kind of needs to keep that same energy. You can't be like double talking in certain interviews. There's a lot of people that don't like Devin Haney, and he does have a lot of critics online, especially. They will use this against him. So I think it's better because it's like me, hyping up a puzzle I'm trying to complete, right? If I keep telling the whole world it's an easy puzzle and it's garbage, when I complete it, I can't run around and ask for credit, because
Yeah, good. Yeah, good point, Jimmy. Quick question. Um, 2 questions actually. Number one, you were
yeah,
you were on my panel before some months ago, right?
I don't think so.
No? Oh, okay.
I might be, I
I
might be
thought I
in your chat.
recognized your. I'm
I've
sorry.
been in, I've been in, I've been in your chat a few times, but this is the first time I've ever jumped on.
Oh, well, welcome, welcome. I just your voice sounds familiar. The second question: are
I
you
must,
from England?
yeah, mate, I'm from England, so I must have been a different British guy you're thinking about. Yeah.
Okay, I recognize your voice, and I can tell your accent is fluent in England. So salute to the UK. Salute to the UK.
Word, word.
Salute, bro.
So Carl, you heard what I said. You heard what Dose said. You heard what Jimmy said here. What's your take on Devin Haney's marketing inabilities and or abilities with the promotion of this fight?
Yeah, yeah, I agree with everybody. Like everybody was right on point with that. Like Devin, but another thing that just hit my head just now, while I was sitting here thinking, Devin never been on a stage like this. He's seen Ryan, he's seen even what's his name, Rolly Romero. Felt like they had to do so much to sell. Because at one point, a couple of weeks ago, he was saying Loma not helping me sell this fight. So I think that he think he's selling the fight by saying just he not thinking before he talk. You know what I mean? Right now, it's just words. As long as it's boxing related and it's him and Loma in that conversation, I just think it was just one of those. He trying to find his way how to sell fights. You know what I mean? Like look at Rolly, look at Ryan Garcia. You know what I mean? They all did it a different way. I think he's just trying to do it his own way, and then he's saying. But only thing about it, he's not thinking. He's talking about. It's not a good thing, but it's not a bad thing. You know what I mean?
Got
I
you.
think that's all.
Got
That's what I think.
got you. That's a good point. Good point. Salute to Diana in the chat. She is one of the members of this channel, and every time I see any member in the chat, I am going to publicly acknowledge them because that is a part of the perks. If you want to join this channel, I will provide the link in the description when this broadcast is over. Feel free to join the channel. Got some perks coming your way. There's 3 different tiers of it, price points, and all those things. Once you click the link, you might have to manually type in the link as well. Either way, salute to you, Diana. Thank you for your viewership, and I appreciate you acknowledging me in the chat. So what happens if Loma Chinko wins against Devin? I don't think. I think that Devin Haney's going to dominate. Like for real. Me personally, I think he's going to dominate at least 8 rounds out of this, 8 to 9 rounds. No disrespect to Loma, but I think Devin's going to just Devin's going to do very, very well and look really good in this fight. This is just my opinion. And I say opinion, emphasis on opinion, because as we all know, I always say this, I am not an in the ring performance expert. So it's just an opinion, right? So if Lomachenko wins against Haney, where does he go from here? Being he will be the undisputed lightweight champion of the world with all of the belts. Jimmy, what's your take on what will happen with Loma being undisputed if he wins?
To be honest, mate, I think this would be the one of the biggest wins in recent times. Devin Haney's a young, undefeated, and undisputed champion. He's a decade younger than Lomachenko. He's a lot physically bigger than him, and he's a favorite. And a lot of people have him on the pound for pound list. So if Lomachenko does pull off this win, I'd say it's one of the best wins I've personally seen in a very long time. I think Lomachenko would launch back up top 5 pound for pound in the sport. I think he'll cement himself as a Hall of Famer, and he's got a couple of really big fights with guys like Shakur or Tank Davis. Yeah.
Okay, good point. Carl, what's your take on Loma? Like if Loma wins this fight, and I know he would have to pull a rabbit out of a hat to do it amongst his
Right.
boxing abilities if he didn't slow down as much as we think he did. How does
Um.
Lomachenko um, get past Haney as far as hey, this is the steps that Loma needs to take to win against Haney? What do you think Loma is going to have to do to beat Haney?
Yep. Yep. A lot of people probably gonna call me crazy, but like we was talking about this before, and I'm gonna say the same old thing. Um, this fight way closer than people really think. Like you got Devin, he do shoot his jab come up the middle, his jab come up the middle, his uppercut come up the middle. Like I'm talking the ones that direct down the middle. All Lomas come like in the middle. Even his body shot. That's another thing that people got pay attention to in this fight. If Loma come in there and not scared of Devin, because he gonna make sure he gonna say he gonna go through what everybody talking about. Devin ain't got no power. He gonna make sure Devin hit him so he can know what Devin. And he gonna try to take one of Devin's best shots. That's when everybody gonna see the fight. Like at that, it's gonna be a moment early, and he gonna make sure he do it early. This is what I believe. I think he gonna make sure he take Devin's best shot to see if what everybody's saying is real about Devin ain't got no power. And then if we see Loma start being Loma, like if you gotta think about it, it could be a drop in this fight too. And what I'm about to say, it make a lot of sense. Devin could go down in this fight, not from hurt, not from combination. The way Loma come in, he's something like Frank Martin. When he come in with those combinations and he keeps stepping and stepping and stepping, if Devin try to do that pivot, it gonna be unofficial, but they're gonna call it a knockdown because Loma gonna be swinging. But I'm just saying that them type of thing. Only if Loma is the Loma that I was used to seeing in the ring. So that's the only way I can see Loma winning. Loma gonna have to be stepping to him. Devin shoot that shot, he gonna have to be Loma to go off of his. He got to bring some of that athletic. I know he's a little old now, they say, but he gotta be quick. The Loma that got him where he at right now. That's the only Loma. That's the only way I see Loma beating this fight. If he sit back and try to do that dance around and then think about coming in, then no, that ain't gonna work. He ain't gonna win too many rounds. But that's the only way I can see it him winning. Other than that, Devin got it.
I got you. So Big Dose. Quick question, real quick, Big Dose. In your opinion, do you think Lomachenko can actually hurt Devin? You know, we've seen Devin take a big shot in the later round. I think it was round 11 when he fought Linares, I believe, Jorge Linares. Do you think that if Lomachenko hitting, do you think he can hurt Dev?
Okay, if you will allow me, I just want to answer your first question real
Oh,
quick. It's
okay.
real quick. I believe if Lomachenko win, Tank is gonna run to fight that man.
No.
It'll be Tank and Lomachenko for sure. All right, now to your question, can Lomachenko hurt Devin? Of
Yeah.
course, of course. We know that Lomachenko got pop. He got some nice pop, by the way he stopped guys, man, to the body and to the head. You know what I'm saying? His pop is very formidable, and he's fast, and he got very good
Mm-hmm.
footwork. You know what I'm saying? The man got high ring IQ. People keep trying to downplay Loma like he's some scrub or something, man. He just won his last two fights. Maybe he didn't look good against Jermaine Ortiz, but maybe Jermaine Ortiz is better than everybody think he is. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, yeah, definitely Lomachenko could hurt Devin, but will Devin let Lomachenko hurt him? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I believe that Devin's boxing skills, his ring IQ is great also, and his footwork great also. His jab great. You know what I'm saying? So I'm one of the people that love the sweet science. So you don't gotta knock him out for me. Just like in the street fight, Manager Marty. We were sitting there watching the street fight, and one guy was getting pieced up, but he didn't get knocked out though. We still every blow he get hit with, we gonna be like ooh ooh ooh, but because they boxing, we don't do that now, or because it's a person they don't like doing the hit. I don't know.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Let me get this super chat from my guy, one of my day one supporters, my guy, Mike Harrison. Always a pleasure, Mike. Thank you for your contribution. Salute to you, Mike. Mike Harrison says these words. One, this is for certain. Haney cannot leave this fight up to the judges. Haney will, emphasis on will, all capitalized letters, have to dominate and go for the stoppage if it presents itself. We have seen some weird decisions in
Yeah,
boxing. That's from my guy, Mike Harrison. And
yeah,
so that's what made me ask, does he need a knockout earlier? And I do agree with Mike Harrison. I do believe that I think the first couple of rounds, Dev should just go in there, try to fill out um, Lomachenko, try to get his rhythm down pat. And then I think after round 4, just go in there and just use your height, your size, your reach advantage, and all your skills as the younger fighter, the champion, and just, go for it. Go for it. Because we haven't seen Lomachenko get really, really hurt to a point where he gets stopped. But my thing is, I think Dev have enough goods. He got enough skills. He got enough tools in his toolbox to be able to put some real combinations together and frustrate Loma and get him. I'm not gonna say he'll knock him out, but I think he should just go for it. Like the same thing I was saying about um, Ryan Garcia fighting Tank. Same thing I was saying about even Crawford fighting Spence. When you're fighting guys like that who don't mind keep coming forward and you're the opponent, you got to just go right at them. You got to let them know that this is going to be a long night and I'm going to put some hands on you to hurt you before you try to hurt me. And that's the type of mentality I think, Devin Haney should have against the smaller guy in Lomachenko. And let me add this, since we're talking about credit. Devin Haney in his last 5 fights, and this is no secret, this is just a fact, and I'm using this as a reference too. This is not a shot at Dev, I'm just using it as a reference. Devin Haney in his last 5 fights had fought guys who were at least 5 to 10 years older than him. So, we don't want Devin to get a reputation for only fighting older guys, right? So, we're trying to build his stock up. So beating a Lomachenko is a good win for him, and I think it's going to be based on how he looks in the fight. Also, I want to bring this up because I think this is as equally as important. In that Brian Custer interview that Devin Haney did that I saw yesterday, he was talking about his weight. Brian Custer was asking him, about his weight. Like, are you going to stay at 35? You going to fight Shakur Stevenson? Are you going to fight Tank? Do you want to fight those guys? Are you going to move up to 140? And it sounded like he was a little bit indecisive of where he's going to land weight-wise. It sounded like he was a little bit indecisive. Where was he going to land promotion-wise? Whether he was going to stay with Top Rank or after this fight, or whether he's going to be open to do business with other networks and or promoters. So I really wanted to hear something definitive for Dev, or from Dev rather, only because as businessmen in this sport of boxing, those type of answers make people ask more questions. And usually when you have good representation, and y'all know I talk about good representation on this channel, in the business of boxing, we don't just look at one fight and figure out what we're going to do later on after the fight. We put 2 to 3 things together. Okay, in other words, is when I make this move for my client, it's because these 2 next moves is what we're planning for next. It's not like, well, we're going to do this one fight and we'll figure out what happens after that. No, 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 no. The reason why we're doing this fight is because we know what we're going to do after. You see? And that's how good business works. And so with that being said, Dose, I'll start with you. Carl, you're after Dose, and then Jimmy, I'll end it with you. With Devin Haney's weight after this fight, win, lose, or draw, let's say he wins. Should he stay at 135 if he win this fight, Big Dose?
All depend on how you look on the scale, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what he keeps saying. You know, even though Bill say they stand at 135 for the rest of the year, he keeps saying, he keep telling us, it all depends on how I feel making this weight. But so far, it look like he's making it with ease. I just watched the Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and his chef said that he eats all the way up until weigh-in. So if he really can do that, yeah, he should stay at 135. If he really can eat all the way up to weigh-in, which I doubt, uh,
Right.
yeah, he should stay there. If he making the weight, people calling him a weight bully, but they both got to make 135 though, don't they? If he can make the weight, then why not? And like I pointed out in the chat, between Devin Haney and Tank, which one of them don't miss weight at 135? And I'll give you a hint, it ain't Devin Haney. Tank missed weight against Gamboa at 135. He weighed in at 136. But they call it Devin Haney the weight bully, though. How's that? When Fat Boy the one missed weight. That's all I'm saying.
So you think he should stay at 35? Carl Brown? Well, you said it depends on what he does on the scale. Carl, if he makes weight on Friday night, if Devin Haney makes weight and he win this fight, should Devin stay at 135? Or you think he should move up to 140?
Uh, the the fights that I want to see make me want to say, you know what I mean, keep make 35. But also it's fights I want to see at 140. So to me, I don't even care. But should he? Yeah, we gotta get that Devin and Tank fight. If we don't get nothing else, we have to get that, yo. We gotta get that. That's just like us begging for the Errol and Bud, man. We got that fight have to happen. Now, and to be for real, I think both fighters thinking that same thing. Like like you just said, Tank missed weight, but I think Tank was just wasn't disciplined at that time. So when he missed that weight, I think he just wasn't disciplined. I think Tank is really a naturally 135 pounder. Like naturally, like I don't think he have no problem making 135. But I think Devin to make that fight, I think like he said, matter of fact, like he said, how he look on that scale, if he and then he feel good, and if he like he said, if he eating all the way up to yeah, do it one more time. Cause you do got big fights at 142 that I want to see you in.
Got you. Jimmy, what's your take on it? If Devin Haney makes weight, if he makes weight and he wins this fight, should Devin Haney stay at 135 or should he move up to 140?
Uh, it's difficult to say, because there are various factors. If he feels healthy and strong, I think at 135, the Tank Davis fight is a really big fight. I think it's the biggest fight in the division, legacy and money wise. Um, Outside of the Davis fight, I mean, he has spoken about moving to 140 for nearly 2 years now. So I think the biggest problem is though, at 135 he has all the belts, so he can kind of use that hardware to leverage really good deals and really good fights. At 140, he's not really a superstar, so at 140 pounds, I'm not really sure what kind of fights he could get up there. The Teofimo fight, I think that's a good fight for him if Teofimo wins. Uh, But outside of that, I mean, there's not really any big names at 140. Regis Prograis, he's my favorite fighter at 140. I think that'd be a really good fight, but I wouldn't really give him much of a chance to win that fight, to be honest. I think at 35, the Tank Davis fight makes the most sense. I mean, if you can make that fight, definitely take it, man. But again, man, he's a young dude. He's growing. A lot of these other guys around 35, Shakur, Tank Davis. I mean, they've also missed weight and moved up. So maybe it's just a natural thing. He's a young man. He's growing. Maybe he's outstayed his welcome at 135.
Okay.
Hey,
All
hey man,
right.
Jamal, let me say one more thing.
Yes.
We well, two more things. My bad. Remember, Ryan is up at 140 too. Like even though Ryan lost, we always wanted to see Ryan and Devin fight too. You know what I mean? So and maybe everybody was just going crazy about Javante Davis doing this catch weight. Maybe Devin and Tank agree. Like let the public know that they both agree to doing the catch weight. Will everybody be happy for that? Because Tank don't care about the belts anyway.
Yeah,
With
well,
that,
that is true. He definitely don't care about the belts. He don't need them.
right.
Well, somebody's asking me a question in the chat. Yeah, and I really don't know. I mean, I know people are saying the WBC ordered that Devin Haney. Now, let me reframe that. That the WBC ordered the winner of this fight between Dev and Lomo will fight Shakur Stevenson. Is that what we're hearing? Is that a
No,
fact?
no, that's
I
not
haven't
happening.
seen any evidence on that.
I didn't hear
No,
that.
Lomachenko is ranked number one in the WBC and WBO. So how could they order Shakur?
Yeah, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear nothing like that. Nothing.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't I don't want to here's the thing about that. Let's talk business now. I don't think that Devin Haney should fight Shakur Stevenson next. I don't. I Shakur just got here to 135. I think that Devin Haney should fight Tank Davis next if he beats Lomachenko. I do. Money wise, legacy wise, and for business for both guys. Because I said this before and I'll say it again. What do Adrian Broner, Tank Davis, Terence Crawford, and Devin Haney, those four fighters, have in common? I mentioned this, if it wasn't on my last live, probably the live prior to that. Devin Haney, Adrian Broner, Tank Davis, and Terence Crawford, those four fighters, they have something in common. What they have in common is that they make more money and they haven't had a long history on their resume of fighting black and or African American fighters. And there is a reason for that. And so for Devin Haney to fight Shakur Stevenson, who just came up to the 135-pound division, and both of those guys are not big ticket sellers outside of the realm of their hometown, that wouldn't make good business sense. Hardcore boxing fans, yes, we would love to see the best fight the best with regards to that. But when we talk about legacy, when we talk about big money, Tank Davis is the big money, and we know that. We know that, Tank Davis is the big money, and why not let those guys, get it on, fight. Both guys can make big money and secure their legacy, win, lose, or draw, either way. So, from a business aspect, I think that should be the next fight if he wins. We have Terrence Best Videos on the panel. What's up, Terrence?
What's up, manager? What's up? What's going on, people?
What up?
You can hear me? You hear me,
What,
manager? Y'all hear me?
yeah, yeah, well, I
Yeah,
can hear
yeah,
you loud
yeah.
and clear. What's your take on this Devin Haney versus Loma fight, real quick, Terrence?
Listen, bro. I said it a long time ago. I got Devin easy. I got him 10-2. Best maybe 9-3. Um, I don't know where. When is the last time he knocked somebody out? Was it Nakatani? That's who he knocked out. Did he knock him out? I'm talking about Loma. Because yeah, I've never known Loma to be like a knockout artist. I mean, I know he takes angles and things like that, but I don't see him having a chance of knocking Haney out. Haney
Yeah, he
stay on.
stopped Nakatani, just to let you know. Yeah, he did.
Did he knock him out? That's what the last person he knocked out, right?
I think
Now,
so. That was
yeah, but
about before the last fight. I think.
right. So we know the only time Haney gets in trouble is when he wants to like go toe to toe. He wants to listen to folks out there telling him he don't have power and things like that. That's why he got rocked. He wanted to. He was listening to these idiots telling him that he has to knock people out. Listen. He's not that fighter. He stays on the outside, uses his jab to control, and if he does that, he beats Lomo easy. As long as he doesn't get into a slugfest with him, it shouldn't be hard. I'm looking forward to what's after this. I mean, I'm just hope.
So, somebody has feedback in the background.
Oh, my bad. That's probably me. I had ran upstairs. My kids didn't want to get crying. My bad. I had to go get my
That,
phone charger.
that's cool. Just put your phone on mute because I think Terrence Best Videos was talking and we couldn't
Oh,
hear him.
my bad. It's y'all don't hear it now, right?
Yo,
All right, my bad. My bad about that.
No, it's all good, man. Hey, it's all good. Well, I was waiting for Terrence Best Videos. Terrence Best Videos, maybe something happened where he clicked off. Uh, if he comes back on, I'll let him back on the panel. Anybody else that want to join the panel, the link is in the chat. I pinned it right to the top. So, all right, Terrence Best Videos is back. Terrence, we had Carl Brown mute his phone. So, yeah, we heard everything you said, Terrence Best Videos. Thank you.
Uh,
So, so now that I have all you guys here, we have to talk about this because I just got back, and we got to switch topics. We got to switch gears, and most people talked about Errol Spence's tweet. Now, I've been doing a little research all since yesterday, so I might not be as accurate as I should be since I've been off of YouTube. But people were talking about a tweet that Errol Spence put up, and I got a copy of the tweet. I was trying to find my screenshot, but I couldn't. Um, but basically, he was saying he feels like he's being played. His words, not mine. Errol Spence said that in his tweet. He feel like he's being played. I know that he's not talking about his girlfriend because he just did an interview with her. I'm definitely sure he's not talking about Al Heyman. Everybody is speculating that it's a possibility that he's talking about Terence Bud Crawford and the fact that him and Crawford was talking on the phone. He says 15 minutes or whatnot. And with that 15 minutes, he basically said they was, having a kumbaya moment, so to speak, where they was talking, just regular on some regular stuff. And then they start talking about, I guess, small portion of negotiation between them two fighting. Quick question. Terrence Best Videos, you got two of your videos on the screen here. Is something wrong with one of your phones? Terrence Best Videos, can you hear me?
hold on a second. I'm gonna sign out of everything and come back, Marty.
All right, you got it.
I'm gonna
Okay.
sign out of everything.
All right, you got it. So Big Dose, what's your take on that whole thing about Crawford, and Spence, and they was talking on the phone. Seemed like they was talking like they were cool, like talking about each other's families, and just having like I call it a kumbaya moment where they were being cordial with each other as men, joking and laughing and whatnot. That's the context that it sounded like when I heard a little bit of interview yesterday Errol Spence did. Um, which what's your take on all that, Dose?
It made me hopeful, bro. Even though I kind of don't think it's gonna get done, but I don't know if you seen that one news that somebody put out that Vada sent Spence something talking about they asking him to sign up for Vada, and they said that Crawford already agreed to sign up, and they waiting on him to reply. Did you
No,
see?
I
Nah,
Uh,
never heard nothing about. I never heard nothing about that.
that was
Mm-mm.
on Man, I can't forget my guy. I can't think of my guy's name right now, but yeah, he did a report on it. He said he saw it on Twitter or something because he followed Victor Conte and all them, and it's on Victor Conte's page. I don't know, but I kind of I think like if Bud don't sign that contract within the next couple weeks, if I was Spence, I just move on, man. Just move on, bro. Cause that man don't want to fight you. He don't want to fight you. He's straight jealous of you. For real, straight jealous of you. And he jealous that he ain't in your spot. You see? So he don't really know if he can beat Spence. So if Spence was to beat him and become undisputed,
Hmm.
out whooping on him, and his notoriety and fame just shoot through the roof, out whooping on him, I don't think he could take it. I don't think he could take that, bro. His pride couldn't take it.
Yeah.
So I don't think that he gonna even risk fighting Spence, man. If he is, then what? Why is it taking this long, bro? And for the ones, the detractors, to say, oh, he ain't. Remember when they used to try to say, well, he ain't really say Bud name and he ain't really call Bud out. But and Ellie Setbacks videos he just posted, he said that's the only person I want.
Yes,
Period.
that's right.
That now
That's right.
what is Bud doing, man? Why is his fans not on his back? Come on, bro. Come on, that's clear as day.
Hey, Manager Marty.
Hold on, dog. Um, that was Big Dose. Big Dog. What was your name? Big Dog. What was your name? The
Dog
one I
money.
just let on the panel. What was your name?
Dog money.
Dog Money. This your first time on the panel, Dog Money?
No, manager. I've been on here before. I guess you can like for whatever reason my camera won't show, but yeah, we've talked
Oh,
several times, not only on your channel, but on oh man, what pool counter pool?
okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. No, I just wanted to give you a proper introduction.
But
Anybody else on
I'll
the
take a
panel?
first time introduction. Give it to me. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no. I was just when I see somebody that I let join on the panel, I want to make sure I introduce them to the audience instead of
Nigga,
just
nah, nigga, I'm
somebody just.
family. Nigga, I'm family.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I just want to make sure that when you come, anybody, not just you, anybody come
Yeah,
on and they
yeah.
just start talking, the viewers may not know who's talking because I only have me and Carl Brown's face on the video. So I appreciate you joining us tonight. Carl, give me your take, man. You heard what Big Dose said. There's a cryptic message that Errol Spence, which we already know he be doing cryptic messages on Twitter, when he says he's tired of well, that was the first time he was saying I'm tired of these YouTubers or whatever. But this particular time, Errol Spence says, I feel like I'm being played, or I feel like I'm getting played. I think he said I feel like I'm being played, is his exact quote. What you think that he was talking about when he said that, Carl? Carl, can you hear me? I think your phone might be on mute, Carl.
Oh, you can hear me now?
There you go. We got you.
All right. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. When I first seen it, I was sitting upstairs in a room, and oh man, I, just look at what happened. Remember Earl Spence? They had a date. I don't care what nobody say. They had a date for November 19th. That was from the time he got finished with Ugas. They they came up with three different term sheets. They sent all that. November 19th was the date. So much of Earl Spence probably knew that fight was going to happen then, because they was only waiting for Terence Crawford to sign. You know what I mean? He knew that fight was going to happen then. That's why Earl Spence said then, that no matter what, November 19th, I'm fighting. But that was just, you know what I mean? That's what I believe, and this what I've been seeing. I think that message, and this on like you said, is only my thought. I thought, like, damn, here we go again. Like for a man to say, now I feel like I'm being played. It's like, okay, the first time he wouldn't go took a fight. I said if he would have came to us, we would have been like, go ahead, go get your money. This time we get this close, and I feel like I think Terence Crawford wouldn't go. I think that's what he was saying, straight up.
Okay, got you. Um, Dog Money, you just joined in. Terrence Best Videos, I'll let you go right after Dog Money. Dog Money, you saw the tweet that Errol Spence, basically said, um, you know, he feel like he's being played. What's your take on it, man? This whole thing about him feeling like he's getting played. Do you think he was talking about Terence Crawford, or he just put that out there and the fight's going to happen? What's your take on it, dog?
Nah, I don't, and I don't really think it's a cryptic message. Everybody, he know that everybody hang on every word when it comes to that fight. He know when he's put that message out there exactly what people were gonna take from it, and evidently that must be how he's feeling right now because this dude still ain't signed a damn contract. And I heard somebody was saying something about Vada. Man, EJ been part of Vada, dog.
Word, word.
WBC clean boxing. He been part of the clean boxing program. He tested for every fight. So all that Victor Conte, this and that, that's just a whole bunch of, man, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing, dog. Exactly what it is. But yeah, yeah, man. They look, we all waiting for a word. We all checking Twitter. We all following EJ and Bud one here. I talked to Earl's sister about 2 weeks ago because I follow her too. I asked her when the fight was, and she even said, "Man, I don't know when this nigga gonna fight. Nigga
Oh,
acting
you
like
can't
he's
say the N
scared.
word. Hey,
Oh, I'm
Dog Money.
sorry.
Sorry, you
Oh, I'm
can't say the N
sorry.
word.
When this, like, I don't know when this guy, you know what I'm saying, gonna sign this contract. I'm waiting for the fight too. That's what she said.
Wow.
She
Whose
said,
sister
I'm
was
waiting
that?
for the. That was EJ's sister named Ebo. She
Wow.
said, I'm ready for the fight too. We don't know what's wrong with this dude. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm pretty sure she got more inside information than what I got, but at the same time, they probably hold that type of stuff close to the vest. But she won also, you know what I mean? I don't know what it is. The dude don't want to fight, man. And I'll pass it to the next guy, man.
You got it. Well, Terrence Best Video, we know that you are an avid Terrence Bud Crawford fan. Not saying that some people on the panel is not a fan, but we know that you are like one of his biggest fans here in the YouTube boxing community. You saw the tweet that Spence said. Do you think that he was referring to Terrence Crawford when he says he feel like he's getting played?
Listen, I don't care what this man's referring to. I mean, stop being a coward. Say what you mean. If it's Bud, if you're saying it's Bud, say it's Bud. Stop being a coward. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're a grown ass man. But anyway, let me just say this, Marty. I just want to say a couple things here. This guy
Okay.
that just the gentleman that just came on, he mentioned a name. I don't know if you want to mention other people's channels, but he mentioned that channel. That guy, when I went on his channel, that channel that he mentioned, that dude just cut me off. Over there, they ain't like you, Marty, where they handle the smoke. He come from a channel where it's all Errol Spitz all day. They don't even want to talk about it. But you on Marty's channel, so we can talk about it here, bro.
Hold
So
on
you
a second. I didn't say a guy's channel. I said
yeah,
Earl's sister's channel, Ebo.
no,
He
no,
got a
not
sister
that.
named Ebo
I,
Spence.
no, no, not you. I don't know if it was you, but somebody said a channel that start with a P. I don't know if it was you. I'm not sure who it was.
No, no, that wasn't
I
none of
heard.
me, homie.
Okay, no, I didn't say it was you. I'm just saying someone said it. Whoever that was. That I'm just saying that channel, that dude wasn't even. He didn't
No,
want no smoke.
I said I follow Spence's sister, and I
No, not
talked to his sister.
no. Okay, if you said
Okay,
that, yeah,
yeah,
I'm not. I'm not.
yeah.
I'm just saying whoever said it. I'm not. I'm not sure who said it. But
Oh,
someone mentioned the clean boxing program. Whoever mentioned the clean box, you have to understand it's two different things here. Yes.
I mentioned the clean boxing
Okay.
program.
Let me just explain something to you. Yes, he is in the clean boxing, but that's clean boxing. Vada test does the testing for them. But VADA testing is different than that because VADA testing, they test for a hell of a lot more substances than the clean boxing program. So that's when Conti is asking Errol um to get on board with that. He's not talking about no clean boxing. He wants them to test for VADA, where they test for all sorts of a lot more a lot more substances. So that's what he's talking about when he's tweeting at Errol. He wants to know, hey, are you on board or not? They ask
Man,
him why.
hey, brother, I understand exactly what you're saying. Man, Earl
I thought
Spence is an Olympic champion. He knows everything it is to know about testing, and he's already
Okay,
been through Olympic test style testing.
okay, I agree.
yeah,
So
I
why
want
You
to
won't he?
understand what
piggyback
I'm
on
saying?
So
It's
why
a
I
don't
want
he
to
do
red.
piggyback.
that?
What I'm telling you is
One mic, one mic.
what I'm
All
telling
right.
you is it's a red herring. There's no truth to that rumor or anything you're saying about him having a problem with testing, brother. It's no
Right.
truth to that.
Well, why they keep asking him? Why don't he just say yes? I'm gonna do it.
They not wait. For one, I want to say they not keep asking them. First of all, this is my first time hearing that, and we all heard Earl Ben said that he was part of VADA. He never just bust out and said I'm with clean boxing. That was Earl specific words, VADA. So why would they have to ask him to get with VADA if that was he been with VADA?
No, they.
Okay,
No,
let's
go ahead,
before we
Marty.
get to the before we get to the VADA part, right? I want Terrence Best Videos to finish with his points were, so we
Right.
can all be fair. You know what I mean? Oh, go ahead, Terrence Best Videos. You I know you mentioned something about the VADA. Go ahead, continue, brother. I hear you. We hear you.
With regards to that that was one point with that was it with that point is
Oh,
that there's a difference between the clean boxing program, which yes he is in, but they do less substances that they test for. Now this gentleman he knows, but all I'm saying is, and he's correct that Errol did do this in the Olympics. He's absolutely correct. So all I'm saying is, Errol, just say damn yes. Okay, well I'm gonna do it. Tweet at Conti. Yes, I'm down with it. That's it. And now we would be done with that. You know what I'm saying? So everybody knows that that's not the hold up in the fight. Just say yes, and that's it. So why are we even discussing that when he can just simply say yes? So that's the one thing. I'm
Hold
not.
on. Hey, excuse me. Look,
Yeah,
man. I'm gonna say this again.
go ahead.
What you're saying is not true.
Right.
This
Right.
guy is already he tests VADA tests in every fight, random drug tests, random every fight, and has been ever since he's been when he started going after the
Word.
WBC belt. He's been testing since the Kell Brook fight. Matter of fact, that's when he started testing when he went for the belt with Kell Brook, and he's been testing ever since then. So all that Victor Conte just talking, man, you can look it up yourself, man. The dude is in VADA.
Right. Right.
yeah,
You can look that
and
up yourself. You ain't got to
yeah,
take my word for it.
yeah,
It's
and
public
Hey,
knowledge.
hey, Marty, real fast. I don't want to interrupt anybody. I just got to bring some clarity real fast. I don't know who was just talking, but he was trying to break down what that Victor Conte is asking Spence to be in VADA. Well, bro, the clean boxing program is in conjunction with VADA.
Mm.
I don't know if you know that, but
Mm.
VADA is the one that does the testing for the clean boxing program. That's the
Mm.
first
yes,
part. The
Right?
second part is bro, I want you to listen to me. If
That
they are
part.
negotiating right now, right? If they're negotiating right now, why the hell would they need Victor Conte to DM Errol Spence when they are in constant contact and they're negotiating the terms of this contract. I want you to understand. I just want you to step away from it and think about that. If they're in constant contact and in active negotiations, that's something that Terence Crawford can just request. Right? He's not in like Victor Conte isn't in the negotiating room. Why the hell is he DMing Errol? That doesn't even make sense. It's just for attention, bro.
All facts.
And
That's something that is brought up in the negotiating table. Like, I want this, I want that, I want this. That's not a fucking DM. And I'm not saying cursing to disrespect you. I'm just putting emphasis. It's not a fucking DM. Like, Victor Conte has nothing to do with what's going on. It's between Errol Spence, his representation, Terence Crawford, his representation, and they will talk terms. Victor Conte DMing him has no effect on this fucking fight. And what he's asking for is 365-day testing. That's what he's at. That's what Victor Conte is suggesting to Errol Spence. That has no bearing on this fight.
YSM, I know that, bro. I know that. I'm the one that. Hold on, Terence.
No, I wasn't talking to you, bro.
Because I'm the one that brought it up.
One mic.
I'm the one that brought it up in the first place. What I was saying was the guy
in the bottom right hand corner.
What I was saying was a guy was talking about it, a channel that I was watching, and that he mentioned it, and that he said that Bud signed on his part. That's all I was hitting on is that part. Bro, now, as far as it all being bullshit and not having no bearing on the fight, I do understand that. And I even said that in the chat that it might be some bullshit. I'm sorry to cut. It might be some bull crap. So
what? Well, you said it's no bearing on the fight. Why not?
Because it's not a contract. It don't got nothing to do with the contract.
Victor Conte runs Snack, right? So he runs in. Terence Crawford is endorsed by Snack. Victor Conte doesn't represent Terence Crawford. You understand that? So if Terence Crawford has an issue with wanting testing, he's going to tell the person who's negotiating on his behalf, I want this, right? And then they're going to tell Al, and they're going to negotiate those terms. Victor Conte hopping into fucking Errol Spence's DM. Like, I want you to think about that, bro. Like, it's the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard.
What? Okay, now I'll respond to you. Victor Conte has his own agenda. Remember, Conte isn't beholden to Crawford. He isn't beholden to Spence. He has his own agenda. His agenda, since he was dirty, he was wait, hold on. His agenda is to make sure that, at least to him, is that he wants boxing clean. So
man, think about this, homie.
No, you say it's ridiculous and it's crazy. No, it's not ridiculous and it's crazy. If this is his own agenda and he's telling Spence, hey, listen, do this because this makes the sport clean. That's what he's saying. It might not have nothing to do necessarily with the.
Hey, hold on.
And you're saying it's crazy.
One mic.
I don't think it's crazy. I think the sport should be clean. So you can argue with him to say, well, that doesn't make the sport cleaner, but you just can't argue to say it's just ridiculous. Unless you know more than Conte. I don't think you know more than Conte about steroids and shit, because this man was in it. He was doing it. He was masking for years.
You just hit me with a whole bunch of skibbity dibbity. It has no bearing on this fight. They're negotiating this fight. If they're negotiating this fight, right? So if they don't want drug testing, if either party doesn't want drug testing, that's between them. If they want drug testing, that's between them. They're negotiating this. Victor Conte has nothing to do with this. It has no bearing on this fight being made or not made.
And check this out right here, man. It's three people. You got Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, Victor Conte. Out of those three, only one has been convicted for steroid abuse or steroid, drug cheating. That's Victor Conte. That's his first point I'm gonna make. Second point I'm gonna make. Errol Spence is in the clean boxing program. I've never even heard that Terence Crawford was in the clean boxing program. He didn't have to test when he was with Top Rank. You understand? So why are they pointing the finger at Earl Spence when has anybody on here ever heard that Terence Crawford was in Vada?
Yes, I have.
I've never heard it.
Yeah.
Well,
The clean.
go ahead.
Go ahead. I can go ahead, bro.
You
Let me while we got a few seconds. Let me get these two super chats real quick. We got Damian Green. Excuse me, I apologize for that. Damian Grays. Damian Grays, thank you for your contribution to the channel. Damian says, I swear, Bud fans never answer questions. The question was, who do you think Spence was talking about?
That.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Damian Graves, for bringing us back to the point. And then we got
Hey,
EJ88. Thank you for your contribution to the channel. EJ88 says, we seen Bud working with Conte, so they trying to create another narrative so Bud can duck SMH. Thanks, EJ88. Let me do this. I was trying to get it on the screen, but it won't come up because I'm on my other phone. Let me try to get it here. I'm going to read exactly the tweets that Victor Conti said since we've been talking about him right now for the last few minutes. Victor Conti said this in a tweet, and I'm reading this verbatim. I want y'all to see that I'm not making this up. These are the words of Victor Conte. He says, IMO, which stands for in my opinion, the most rational talk about an Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford fight is below. I don't believe either boxer is on PEDs. My criticism has been at Manny Pacquiao and opponents using NSAC, which is Nevada State Athletic Commission's testing panels instead of full VADA testing. 4 of his last 3 Nevada fights. And then he says, on May the 15th, hi, Errol Spence Jr., please check your DM and respond to the VADA 24/7 365 sponsorship offer made of 100% of the annual fee. Terence Crawford has agreed to accept and participate if you are also willing. Please let me know. Either way, much respect, both of you. Thank you in advance. And then 4 hours ago, today, Victor Conti says in all capitalized letters, nonsense. Nonsense is being spewed. I respect Errol Spence Jr. He posted about the need for 24/7 365 testing in boxing, including a hair test. I responded with VADA testing 24/7 365 info. Errol responded by DM. I explained by DM. I have offered to sponsor him. I have offered to sponsor him and Terence Crawford. The offer stands. YSM, you heard me read everything um, about Victor Conti's tweets. There's 3
Yeah,
consecutive tweets in a row. What's your take on all this stuff, man?
I feel like Terence Crawford fans severely jumped the gun. They assumed that this was a holdup for the fight when it had no bearing. He's trying to insert himself in it. Whatever terms they come to is what they come to. I don't know why everybody's like making the excuse for this fight not to happen. This shit is getting weird.
I do have a
Go
question,
ahead.
though. I do have a
Go ahead.
question, YSM, and this is for everybody on the panel. We'll do a round robin at once, so nobody, we all have respect for each other's views and not step over each other and mess the audio up. Victor Conte said in that tweet that I just read, he said, I heard Errol Spence talk about VADA testing, clean boxing 24/7, 365. My question is, why are you DMing him now? In other words, is if Errol Spence said that, let's say 3 years ago, why didn't Victor Conte DM him 3 years ago? Not saying he didn't. Let's say he did, but he didn't make it public. Why make it public now? Why DM Spence now? Why didn't you DM him 3 years ago when he said it? Why didn't you DM him 5 years ago when he's talked about clean boxing? Why are you DMing him right now? Why you want to sponsor him right now? I have an answer for that. It's because he is being representatives of Terence Crawford. I'm not saying Crawford sent them to say that. I am not implying that. I want y'all to put it in perspective. Terence Crawford is a participant of the snack program with Victor Conte. Victor Conte is DMing Spence, who's supposed to be in negotiations with Crawford to fight each other. He's DMing him about VADA testing and to sponsor him. That's what I'm. So my point is, why now? Why DM him now? Why DM him now? Because he's fighting a guy you represent through your program? Why? What is that about? What are y'all implying? Question number two. Why you DMing fighters? When we know VADA testing costs between 20 and 30,000, from what I've been told.
Yes.
Yeah,
you're right.
Okay, so $20,000 to $30,000 for these tests to be administered by VADA. We know that Errol Spence has good representation. So Conte, why didn't you reach out to the representative of Spence who can cut the check and they do business with VADA? This is what they do. Why now? What are y'all implying? What is this about? I need answers on that. Anybody's panel? Anybody got a take on that?
Hey, it's only right I go first because look, I'm the one who really bust this wide open on your show.
Speak on it, bro.
Talk about it. Hey,
speak on it.
Hey, that's what I just wanted to give you some content to talk about. That's why I brought it up. Number one. Number two, when I heard it, I knew it was some bullshit if they was trying to imply. I'm sorry. It was some bull crap.
It's cool, bro.
Imply that Spence don't want to do the clean testing because he's been doing that throughout his whole career. Especially since he's had the WBC belt. It's mandatory.
Yes, it is.
So, I knew it was bull crap on that end, but what I was paying attention is to the part where they said Bud already agreed, and I was like, well, if Bud already agreed, maybe the fight is signed or close. I don't know. That's why I even thought about it. But for real, when it comes to that, man, like I said, Errol has always been in the clean testing, organization his whole career. So I know he ain't worried about that, and that ain't stopping nothing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Salute to Marty Yoel. Thank you, Marty. Haven't seen you in a while. Not because you wasn't on YouTube, because I wasn't. So good to see you again, Marty. Thank you for your contribution to the channel. So Terrence Best Videos. My question to you now as a Crawford fan, when you heard the words Crawford already agreed, that meant that Conte must have had some sort of dialogue with Crawford if he's saying that Crawford agreed to it. What's your take on Conte even getting involved in this, reaching out to Spence in the first place on behalf of Crawford?
Well, I heard about this well before now, like that Conte said that if Bud fights Errol, they're going to be in VADA. He said that a long time ago. That's no secret. He wasn't taking the fight unless it was for VADA testing.
Who wasn't taking the fight?
Bud.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, Conte said that a while ago. That in order for that fight to take place, that it has to be full VADA testing. So it's no secret that he said that before. To me, that's why I don't see any problems with it. I'm just.
Wait, do you understand the difference? Do you understand the difference in testing for this fight and what Conte is asking for?
Tell me the difference. I thought it just meant that they would have full body testing. That's all.
No,
If
he said 365. That means testing for the duration of his career. That's what he's asking for.
oh, okay, okay. Well, I don't know. Well, I guess yeah, that wouldn't matter for Bud. For Bud, this fight, he just wants to make sure he's clean for this fight. That's the only thing I think Bud cares about.
Why
But
Well,
I
would
well,
wouldn't.
Bud care about that? In
well,
your opinion, why
well,
would Bud care about Errol Spence being clean for this fight?
right.
What do you? Why? What ain't clear? What do you mean? Why? What?
When
Why was Floyd worried about it with Pacquiao? Of
No, no,
course
no.
he
I'm not.
did.
I'm not asking about Floyd and Pacquiao because we know
right.
Pacquiao is still questionable in my opinion. I pointed that out several times on this channel. I'm really specifically talking about Crawford. Why would Crawford be concerned about Spence and VADA testing and all this stuff? Why would he be adamant about that for Spence?
Why wouldn't he? He wants to make sure
But
it's a fair fight. I'm
but Spence
confused.
been on it. Spence been on it. Just his whole career. So what make him question that?
I'm confused. So he's supposed to not make sure the
What
fight's
make
fair.
what did Spence ever? I don't get it. Spence on it.
And so
What would
if
make
he but if he's
he
been
on it?
doing it, bro, then he's going to continue to do it. Why wouldn't he do it now? I'm confused. Why is this an
Yo,
issue?
I
They
don't.
they
I,
should do full body testing and that's it. So are y'all arguing that they shouldn't do it? Is
No, we
anybody arguing?
said you. Oh my God.
yo,
Mm-hmm.
wait. Let me say this, right?
But
I feel like y'all trying to lump arguments together when they're not. They like
right,
they're he's asking for he's saying 365 days, right? Terence Crawford has agreed to 365 days, right? So Terence Crawford is going to be getting year-round testing, is what he's saying, right? Errol
Right.
Spence is already a WBC champion who was subjected to year-round testing because of the clean boxing program. Okay,
Right,
right.
right.
so it has no bearing on this fight. If you think that this is the first time that drug testing has been mentioned in this fight when they've been negotiating for months, you're crazy.
Man, look,
So
PJ,
you think that the last thing that's holding this fight up is them just popping up out of nowhere about drug testing? No, that's been discussed. Like so,
Never.
him interjecting, he's not at the table.
Right.
So if this was something that Crawford had been worried about or wanted to make happen, it would have been discussed behind closed doors and not Victor Conte bringing it up via DM. That's how niggas holler at bitches. That's not how
man, man,
business is done.
man, Conte, Victor Conte just trying to make himself part of something,
I'm
dude.
sorry for cussing, Marty.
No,
Look,
it's
look,
the N word. It's the N word. It's the N
look,
word. I don't care.
look, look, look. He just trying to make himself part of something, dude. Um, those guys, I've heard EJ and what's the other guy that fight with Derrick James down at Charlo?
Charlo.
I've heard both of them complain about the testers popping up on the plane when they out of town making them guys take tests.
Right.
You're like, man, I'm at my grandma's house in Louisiana, knock on the door, it's vital.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what
what
I'm
Hey,
they
saying?
do. That's what
They
they do.
test,
yo,
they testing year round already, yo.
I got Marty,
It's a red
I got
herring,
story for
man.
y'all real fast.
Okay,
Go ahead,
we
Wyatt.
listen.
Jesse Hart, right? Jesse Hart has switched from Fred Jenkins' gym. He'd been training with Mr. Mosey, but he hadn't informed Vada. So Vada pulled up to Fred Jenkins' gym to do the testing, but he
Shout out to
was at
Fred Jenkins.
he was at Mr. Mosey's. So they put out a statement saying that he was suspended all because he had changed gyms. Story number two. They had popped up, they had tried to pop up on Cool Boy. Cool Boy lives in two different locations, two different states. So they popped up in Philly. He wasn't there. Then they called him. He was like, "No, I'm at my other spot." It's like, "Stay there. We about to. We got somebody in that state too.
Yeah.
Just stay right there. Don't leave the house."
Yeah, they will actually sit outside of the residence in an unmarked vehicle and wait for you to pull up if you're not home or if they don't see your car outside. Vada is real. This is not no rinky-dink situation.
That
This is a real organization. Those tests that they administer are real. That's why they charge as much as they do. The process is very strenuous. They make you fill out documentation of all the information of where you're going to be this time, that time. They don't care if you're taking your kids to school. They will wait for you. This is what they do. I mean, so like we all just mentioned, Spence is already automatically in the WBC's WCB program. You know what I mean? So we already know Spence is already going to get tested automatically by being the WBC champion. What I was trying to understand is why is it being so publicized now from Victor Conti? Why is this such a big deal? He has no bearing on the negotiations of this fight. And I do understand that he represents Crawford. I do understand as a businessman, if he's trying to allow, Spence to be sponsored by Snack in exchange for, paying some of the, fiduciaries for him to get tested, when Victor Conti understands that the WBC already tests Spence. So that's why I keep saying my question is, why speak on it, Victor, if you know Spence is already in the WCB's program through the WBC? Why speak on it and DM him and tell him about all these different resources on what is the purpose if he's already involved in the program with VADA? Because like YSM says, VADA administers all the protocols and testing through the WBC. So there's no point of sending that man anything about it. So I was just trying to understand what the motive was behind all of that, especially if, he represents Crawford. Let me reframe that. Crawford represents Snack.
I can tell you
but
what it is, man. He want to see Spence blood work. He want to get him in that gym. He want to see what his numbers look like when he under stress, when he running. He want to hook them machines to him so he can see if he can develop some stuff to put in somebody else's bloodstream, so they can perform like Spence. He want that race car juice, man. That's what he want. That's what it is. And he want to insert himself in the biggest fight in boxing. He want his name out there. He want them to wear that Snack shirt to the ring. That's exactly what it is, man. He want to be part of something.
So
And
we have somebody.
he been barking at Spence for about 3 years, 4 years now. Every time Spence got a fight, he started barking.
I did have a question. Um, there's a guy. He usually throws a lot of shots at me, and he always, typically, uses unfavorable terms in my comments section. His name is Tone Lock. You guys probably seen him in my chat. I'm gonna give him a little bit I give him about 5 seconds of publicity. Tone Lock says, I'm gonna put it on the screen. So because we're talking about it, I just want us to see what he said. I'm gonna read it out loud. It says, Marty, isn't it a difference between the VADA and the clean testing? Because the WBC clean tests don't test for everything. I was told this by a legendary boxer. They have additional testing. YSM, can you help answer this?
All right. To my knowledge, they test for everything. It's still the same testing. It's just that if you pay, so you got the clean boxing program. They can pop up at any moment, but they can pop up 1 month from now. They can pop up 2 months from now. When you actually sign for a fight, there's a difference in the strenuous testing as far as the frequency as opposed to the clean boxing program. Put it like that. The frequency, like VADA could pop up on you once a week.
Facts. So basically, let me read this. And I'm gonna show everybody. I'm trying to put it on my other phone. It's not calibrating. I want to show everybody this. If you can see, can y'all see these words? I'm going to read it. It says,
No.
all right, I'm going to read it. It says, WBC clean boxing resumes testing. This was a vlog. This was a blog that Vada published on May 13th, 2020. And it says the World Boxing Council, which we know stands for the WBC, the World Boxing Council, and the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association are pleased to announce the resumption of anti-doping testing activities under the WBC Clean Boxing Program. So, with what we just saw from Tone Locke, who basically said that it is a difference between VADA and the clean testing, there is no difference. The WBC's Clean Boxing Program allows VADA to be the agency that provides the protocol and an administering of the random style drug testing, urine, blood, and I believe they also do other samples as well. So there is no difference. I don't know who the legendary boxer is um, who claimed that they don't test for everything, but that was from Tone Locke who said that, not me. But I just wanted everybody to realize that VADA is in conjunction with the WBC for their world boxing testing or their clean boxing program of random urine and drug testing.
Yeah, Marty. To my knowledge, like the clean boxing program, they can pull up on you at any time, right?
Yes,
But
yes,
they don't. They can pull up on you in March, and then maybe they'll go see you in June. When you hire VADA for a particular fight, right? For I think they have different packages. But let's say you pick an 8-week package. All right, in 8 weeks, they gonna show up a couple times in them 8 weeks.
right.
So it varies, but Spence is always under. He's technically under 365 days because they can pop up on him whenever, however, and he has to do it on the spot.
That is correct.
Maybe Victor Conte is asking for more frequent testing, but shit, who knows, man?
And anyway, man, I'm gonna tell y'all something. You got to understand something about testing, right? It doesn't matter whether you're getting tested or not. You still get exemptions. If you got, man, if it's something that you like and you want to take, man, all you got to do is get your doctor to prescribe it. Say you got to have it. Guess what? You can take it. It ain't it's an IQ test more so than a blood test. If you got a smart enough IQ and you got the right money and the right doctors, you gonna win, bruh. And that's the truth of it.
And another thing, with Spence, I just don't get because look, a lot of Terence Crawford fans probably seen one drunken video of Errol Spence. That I'm talking about, like, because the way they said, like, they seen this dude every video, they seen him smash. It's like they seen probably one or two videos of Errol Spence probably out, chilling, having a good time. That's why every little thing, something like this, and it's not all Terence Crawford fans. It's the ones that's fanatics that's going crazy over. They take things like this and they paint this picture and then they place it out there when all along it was like YSM just said earlier. Like they jumped the gun 24/7. Like
Man.
we just talked about Earl Spence been with the program.
Hey, brother. Hey, brother, think about this right here. You never heard nobody talk about Keith Thurman in the drug testing, Sean Porter. You never hear about none of these other, but you know why you hear about Spence? Because they know it's a freight train coming, yo. And they
Yeah,
scared. They
man.
say he got to be on the drugs, man. He got to be on the power pillar. You know what I'm saying?
But and
Say,
man, Jamal, what I've been saying. I've been saying this from the first time I got on your show. The first time I met everything. I said I believe, and this how I've been seeing it. And this what I really believe. Some people believe Terence Crawford might knock Errol Spence out. I believe this fight is not going to be hard as everybody. I think this fight is going to be easy. I really think that it's going to be easy. It's gonna be this Earl gonna beat Terence Crawford more easier than people think. Like I really believe in that big man, little man thing. Like Terence Crawford could be built like an ox, but Earl Spence, he he is known for really breaking through things. And I think with Terence Crawford starting off at a lightweight, I get it. He's probably strong. I don't think he's strong enough to put Earl to sleep. And I just think that Earl going to make sure he take Terence Crawford. It's going to be two of them because Terence Crawford like to hold back on his power. And I learned that about him too. If he hit you, if you got a clean shot, he's not going to go for the kill. He wants you to think that he ain't got no more power other than that. That's what he did with the Kell Brooks.
Look here,
But
man. Hey, uh, before Spence fought Ugas, we got Bo Mack on record calling Ugas a silent killer.
right.
And then they whole team, and they know Ugas done whooped on Bud twice in the amateurs. So you know their whole team was watching Spence versus Ugas. And they seen what Spence did to Ugas. And you know what Bud said? No.
Yeah,
Well,
No.
no.
No,
be,
what? When? What do you
No.
mean? You know, when?
No.
No, what?
Hey, no, as in he ain't signed the contract yet, bro. Come on.
To Uga?
And he already dipped out on him the first time. He already done ducked him.
How?
When he dipped out the first time, he ducked him.
How did
He,
he?
he
How did
did
he
that.
duck
He
him?
did that. Ain't tell him nothing. And like Spence said, all he had to do was say, "Man, I got a lick. I want to go make this money." And what Spence
Right.
said, he would have said, "Yeah,
Go
go
ahead
ahead
get
get
that
the
money.
money," because he ain't no hater like Bud and him is.
So
All
Right.
how did he
Bud
get
team
out?
do is talk shit about Spence, man, and talk about him in a negative way, and he
I'm
don't
just
never
how
get
did
that
he get
stuff
back?
back. They asked him, "Hey, how you think he did against Avenesia?" What Spence say? I mean, Bud look good, man. He always look
Well,
good.
always look good.
That's that stuff you was talking about in the beginning, Marty, where you don't downplay your competition,
yeah, I did say
regardless
that.
of what Spence really think about him or about that fight.
Well, when did Bud say that he Spence look good? When did he say that?
I'm
But
talking about his mouthpiece, the one he
yo,
get
everything
okay to speak for him.
I
That's
and
what
said
I'm
look,
when did
talking about.
and you got to think about this too. And everything Bud do congratulate Spence on, he always take it back in the same sentence. He never gave Earl Spence full credit. Dead, even when he talk about the man of the division, Earl Smith, the man now. He went back to when Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman was the man. I get that, but Earl Smith was really on them dudes' heels at that time. So to even say that after Keith Thurman turned down the fight with Earl Smith, nobody even had no room to even say Keith Thurman was the man. I get it by fighting. Keith Thurman's resume is sharp, but you get what I'm saying. Like they knew who was running from who at that time. When Earl Spence was calling all them out, they knew that them guys didn't want to fight Earl Spence at that time. Bud knew and all that. But my whole thing is, I never seen Bud not once give Earl Spence credit and just keep it 100, just like that.
Let me get these two super chats. I'm gonna get y'all last words. Hold on 1 second. We got Gregory Quarterbomb, and Greg, he has donated to the channel before. I believe I've seen his name several times. So salute to you, Greg. Thank you for your contribution to the channel. Greg says these words: Someone always is trying to interject themselves in the making of a fight. This blaming Bud for everything going wrong is a continuous yet false narrative about this fight. Just call this a PBC podcast and be honest. That's from Greg. Salute to you, Greg. I appreciate your contribution and your comment too, buddy.
Oh
And
man.
we have a cash app from Janet. Thank you for your contribution, Janet. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you. Janet says uh, donation is for, and she says, I noticed that you and D-Town do not curse. I like that. Thank you, Janet. Didn't know that y'all recognized that. Thank you. Appreciate your contribution to the channel, Janet, through Cash App. Terrence Best Videos. Um, this is not a PBC podcast like Greg just assumed. I, I I know that this channel has a lot of content on Bud. And let me say this because I've been getting, for the last 7 months, I've been getting a lot of feedback from people in my comment section. And I say 7 months because I've been on YouTube publishing videos for 7 months, right? And people say I'm a Bud Crawford hater and this and all, just all kind of stuff, right? But here is the thing that people keep missing about this channel. I can't speak for no other channel. I'm talking about this channel. Everything that I have ever said about Terence Bud Crawford has been two things. Number one, facts, and number two, from a business perspective. I've never said anything negative about Bud Crawford, never made up a name for Bud Crawford, never called him out of his name, never disrespected the guy. Everything I've said about Terence Crawford on this channel in
Right.
any content that I published was facts and from a business perspective. So I know it might seem like it, but it's not my job to convince nobody that I'm not a Bud hater. I like Bud Crawford. The thing I don't like about Bud Crawford is the games we see, what I put up here on the thumbnail, the mind games, the trying to sweet talk people, to try to get people to get on his side when he knows he don't mean half the stuff he is saying. And the reason why I say he don't mean it is because we all know as men and women in the chat and everything that actions speak louder than words. There's two ways. There's only two. There's not no more. There's only two ways that we can get to know a person. Two. There's only two. And they require using two senses, our eyes and our ears. And so there's two ways to get to know somebody: by hearing the words they say and then watching what they do by action after hearing. That's it. There's no other way, right? So of course there's certain elements involved in that. There's certain environments that people have to be placed in, right? But at the same, like, I'm gonna give you an example. Now let's use Janet's Cash App that she just sent me, right? She noticed that I didn't curse, right? Now, I don't use curse words in my vocabulary. That's no secret. I don't use it. But let somebody pull up on me like they want to rumble me or make me mad. It's a possibility while I'm giving them a little bit, you might hear me drop something. You might hear me drop a few words if I'm angry enough, right? But I'm just using as an example is I got to be put in an environment where, oh, that's what you want. I'm gonna give you what you're asking for, and you might hear certain things. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but it's likely you might hear that if I'm in that environment. But at the same time, though, I'm not presenting to you something that I'm not. I'm not acting fake about it. You know what I mean? We all have flaws in life. What I'm saying with Crawford is I've gotten to know Crawford based on the words that this man have said for the 7 months I've been on YouTube. And not just that, but I've watched his actions after the words that he said. If he say, I want Spence, and then he don't fight him next, or he don't sign the contract, it's like, okay. Or I'm my own boss. That's what he said. Then he ran over to De La Hoya's office. Little stuff like that. I'm my own boss. Then he fights David Ebenezer. Like stuff like that. It's like he's saying things, but his action keeps contradiction the words that he's using. I'm going to call him out on it because from a business perspective, that's not good business. It's no different than when he was negotiating with Al Heyman and Showtime. We know that he was negotiating with them, but at the same time, by his own admission, he turned around and he was negotiating with BLK Prime at the same time and didn't tell PBC, and not only didn't tell them, but he gave them the impression that he agreed to those terms that was in the term sheet, and he didn't sign it when they sent him a contract. See, once again, what he's saying out of his mouth and what he's doing with his actions. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's not like, oh, Marty, you a hater of Bud. No, I'm looking at the man, what he's saying out of his mouth
Hey,
and
Marty,
what he's doing
Marty,
out of his
that
actions.
Marty, that's the truth. Hey, look, man, my mama, she must hate me because she sure have criticized me a lot over my life. I must hate my son and my daughter because I criticize them. You know what I mean? Just because somebody criticizes you,
Right,
criticizes what you're doing, that don't mean that they hate you. They
right.
just don't like some of the things that you're doing. You know what I mean? I don't hate Terence Crawford. I respect Terence Crawford. I think he has a beautiful family. I also think he's scared to fight, man. He don't want to fight. You know, two things can be true. You know what I mean? He could be a great person, a great father, and still don't want that smoke with EJ.
That's true.
Fact.
And and also let me say this because I think this is equally as important or probably more important than everything I just said about Bud. Excuse me. And I said this several times on this channel. I had a conversation with Terrence Crawford, man to man in his face, back in December of, was that 2020? Yeah, 2020, when I was live, sitting front row. I had a witness with me. She's not looking at this, but she was there with me. And I was talking to Crawford, and he told me to my face. I didn't say I was a manager. No, I ain't tell him nothing. I was just a regular fan. When Errol Spence fought Danny Garcia, I was there. And I talked to Bud Crawford, and I asked him, I said, I know why you here, Bud. I was joking with him. You here to see how Spence looked. He agreed to with me, and he said, yeah, that's why he's here. I said, what's going to stop you from fighting him next? And Bud told me to my face, whether he remembers this or not, he told me to my face that it was Bob Arum that was stopping the fight between him and Spence. That's what he told me. And I looked Bud in the eye. And if y'all see, if some of y'all watching have heard me say this story on YSM Sports Media, okay, last summer, and I'm gonna say it again. I looked Bud in the eye and said, if there's anybody that's stopping you from feeding your family in this business, including Bob Arum, you do not need to re-sign with that man. I told Bud that. So a year later, December of 2021,
Mm-hmm.
Bud Crawford didn't resign with Top Rank. And I was happy, like, oh, he heard what I was talking about and he remembered and he really was, not because I said it to him, but because as a
Right.
man, he realized that this man is really trying to stop me from eating. So I'm not going to resign with Bob. And then time progressed and I started to realize a pattern, behavior pattern. And if y'all don't know anything else about Manager Marty, besides anything else, I'm
Word.
sure if you look at my issues that I've had with Green, with Mike Williams Sr. in Blue Blood, and even with Crawford, I'm saying it now. I study behavior patterns. There's a reason I learned how to do that, and it's called trauma. I'll talk about that in another segment. My point is, I've learned behavior patterns. So when Bud was talking, and I saw his behavior patterns, and Bob Arum had nothing to do with none of the negotiations moving forward, that's when I realized, understanding this business, that Bob Arum was not stopping the fight with Spence. And look, here
Mm-hmm.
we are today. Here we are today, and he still didn't sign the contract. So
Um,
that's
can I say something?
that's all I'm saying.
Can I say
Look,
something,
another
Marty?
thing. Oh,
Can I say something? I,
oh,
I'm gonna say this. So, is if I agree with you, Marty, I say, listen, I'm gonna cut your lawn, bro. I'm gonna cut your lawn for $50. Um, all you gotta do is, I'm gonna do it on August 7th for $50. Yeah, I'm gonna send it over to you. Sign the contract. I sign it. You send the proposal over to me. I look at it, and then it says $40. So if you didn't see the damn proposal, which none of us did, how the hell are y'all gonna say that's what he agreed to? How do y'all know? I'm just trying to. Who saw the proposal out on this panel? And anybody know anybody that saw the proposal and know that it was exactly what Bud said he agreed to?
All right,
Who
no
saw?
problem. I want to answer that. Let's
Yeah.
clear
cool.
the airways.
Right.
Let me
Right.
get these two super chats because I had them holding for a minute, and I want to answer that. Good, that's a good question. Gregory Quarterbomb, thank you for your contribution again, Greg. Greg says the question of Errol drinking and lack of discipline is factual. Also, Bud's missteps also is worth criticisms, and still they both need each other. That was from Gregory Quarterbaum again. Dion, thank you for your contribution and your support always to the channel, Dion. Dion says Bud doesn't want the fight. EJ does for obvious reasons. I don't think politics have gotten in the way, just ego. And she put in parentheses, Bud's. He isn't confident. That's from my homegirl, Dion. Salute to you, Dion. Thank you so much. So, with that being said, let me answer your question. And I want to answer it very, very simply. You said, how do we know? No, I did not see the proposal. No, I didn't see the contract. But guess what I did hear? See, we talked about hearing and seeing. So I didn't see the proposal, but I heard. I heard Terence Bud Crawford himself say he agreed to everything. He said it himself, Terence Best Videos, that he agreed to the terms. What terms was he referring to? He was
Marty, can I?
referring to the let me finish. He was referring to the terms that was in the proposal that they sent him. Now, you might ask me, how do we know that his words and his action actually met up? I'm gonna tell you how. Because you got to look at the actions of the A side. If he, the B side, agreed to the terms that the A side sent him, look at the response that the A side gave. Remember, the B side is just the B side. A side initiated a contract, right, to give to the B side. B side says, I agree. What did the A side do in response to the agreement of Bud? They sent him a contract to sign. That's how you know that it wasn't just hearsay, that Bud Crawford told them that he agreed to the terms, or else they would have never sent the man a contract to sign. It's very simple.
Marty, you hear me,
Yeah.
Marty? Okay,
Yes, I
so
can hear
Marty,
you.
so if I send you, going back to my example, we agreed for $50, and this is a real simple. It could be a lot of things. So I said $50, and August is 20. Now I send it to you, and then on when you get it on the proposal is now January the 26th. And now can you now say why I didn't sign it? Because now I didn't change the date. I'm asking you, so since you never saw the proposal, how do you know what came back to Bud? That's all I'm asking. How do you
Because
know what we
because
can agree on something, but then I might send you something that's not what we agreed to.
so what
Yo,
did
look
Bud
how
say that he
Is that possible? I'm just asking for a friend.
okay.
look how
Well, tell you,
look how
ask your, hold, Carl, let me get this. So you said you're asking for a friend. Ask your friend this question. What did Bud Crawford means when he said he agreed to everything? What was he talking about?
mm,
Terrence, you there, Terrence Crawford? Terrence best videos, you there? Oh, okay. I can't get no answers. Terrence best videos, are you there? Mic check, 1, 2.
Oh my God.
Oh, he there. He hear me. Terrence best
I'm about
videos,
to
Hello?
say
stop playing, man.
You hear me?
I heard him.
You hear me? You hear
Oh,
me?
okay.
We
There
had
you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
Hey,
Marty, but you
that's one of them things like when your relative call and ask for money, you like, hello, hello, hello,
wait, Marty,
hello.
wait, y'all just
Hey,
I need
hey,
$100.
hey, 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 hey,
Huh? I
think
can't
about this,
hear you.
right? Think about this. Why won't Bud just send EJ a contract?
ooh.
the man wouldn't take the money. He
Wait,
What
asked
you
for
wait.
mean he won't take the money? What won't he send him
he
a
asked
cut?
for, you
When
don't
did he send
remember.
him a contract?
Listen. He talked to him about the $50 million from
Ho
the
ho! Before we get there, ho ho
oh,
ho! Before
oh,
we get there, Dose, hold on, Dose, hold on, Dose. And I want Terrence best videos to answer that. That's a good question.
That wasn't
Before we,
me. That wasn't me.
oh, I'm sorry, whoever that was. That's a good question. Hold on, real quick. Terrence best videos. I asked you a question. You said you were asking for a friend. So ask the friend that was asking you to ask me that question. What did Bud Crawford mean when he said he agreed to the terms?
Crickets.
Hello, hello,
Hello, are
Crickets.
you
hello.
there?
I can't hear you, huh? What?
Hello.
What you say? $100? What?
Hello?
Honda
Hey,
Accord, you don't own one?
Hello?
Terrence
Am
Best
I?
Videos, you there? Hello, Terrence. I didn't mute him
Every
either,
time
so
you
don't.
ask that question, man, he had trouble, man.
Them
Terrence
damn
Best
crickets.
Videos.
Oh,
Hey,
What?
that's crazy, bro.
Terrence Best.
Stall him out, Marty. Stall him out.
Terrence
call
Best
him
Yo,
out.
Videos.
Stall him out, Debo. Stall
yo,
him out, man.
Hold
That's
on.
that's
Stall
my
him out,
barber
Debo.
chain. That's
Come
my
on.
Terrence Best
barber
Videos.
chain.
can y'all
Terrence
hear me?
Best.
He keeps saying
Yo,
Sam best video.
yo, hold on. I think that y'all got mute your phones. Terrence Best
Can
Videos.
y'all,
Can you hear me?
can you hear me?
Oh, there you go. Okay, good. This is the second time I asked. Let me try again. You said you were asking for a friend. So ask your friend to to tell you what did Bud Crawford mean when he said he agreed to all the terms.
And I said material terms, material terms. Just like the
He
ESPN.
said
I
he said
said
what?
the material terms. You agree to that? That's 65 with
You
no
you
guarantee.
you you
Bullshit. You
you
agreed to.
you sound muffled. You said some terms. Yeah, I'm asking about the terms. What terms did Terrence
The
grow?
65, 35%.
The 65-35%.
Yes. And you agree to guarantee.
Okay, so if Terrence Crawford agreed to that, how do you know if you didn't see the proposal or contract either? How do you know that?
I don't know. What he said.
Okay, then so why? Oh, so you can take his words and believe him, but
Right.
when I agree that he says certain things with his own words, I can't believe him. I believe him when he said he agreed to the terms. I agree. I believe the guy. Like I
I
believed him when he
believe
told
him
me.
too.
Like I
We
believed him
don't
when he
agree.
told me. Like I believed him when he told me that Bob Arum is the reason why the fight wasn't happening. I believed him then too, but his actions showed me otherwise. It's
And
like
and again, you guys
it-
never to
Marty,
me
Marty, you always
what
be
we
walking.
had
You always be
Floyd
walking
Mayweather
dudes down the
fight
block.
doesn't happen.
You bust him in the
what?
head.
Hold on, one mic. Terrence, best video. Say it again.
None of y'all explain why y'all calling Floyd Mayweather a lie. He says he is with Al Hammond and they are together, and he said the fight was happening. Y'all
Man, he
just
talking through a glass of
so
milk, man.
What's
Word sound
Floyd?
he underwater.
Sound like you talking through a glass of milk, bro.
we hold on, I have to come back here. Hold on,
Soon
come
as
back
you
in.
get these hard questions, now
Your phone acting
your
crazy,
phone
bro.
acting up, man. Come on, get your iPhone.
Yeah. See what it is you
What
see
he
what I
say? His
recognize.
iPhone.
Yeah, no, that ain't
Huh?
iPhone. That Boost
Nah,
Mobile.
nah.
That Boost Mobile.
Yeah, that boost. That's
Yeah,
that
that Boost
boost.
Mobile.
Yes,
That's that
sir.
That Boost
flip boost
He
Mobile.
forward.
pay his phone bill at Walmart.
See what it is I keep asking the same questions and I keep getting all these other answers except for the answers that I be asking the questions of. If
Uh huh.
Crawford agreed to the terms and he told Al Heyman and Spencer's representation that he agreed, that's the reason why they sent him the contract. They sent him the proposal with the terms on there. Once he said, "Oh, I agree," they sent him the contract because after that, you're supposed to sign it. See, you don't sign proposals and term sheets; you sign contracts. So why would they send him a documentation to sign if he didn't agree to the terms that was sent through the proposal? So that's how I know that don't make, any kind of sense. Not just only that, but here we are today. Today, forget the fact that he didn't call a man out directly when he was asked about Spence in Nebraska after he fought David Evanesian like everybody else do. But my thing is, why don't we have a fight announced today? It's
If
because of what I put up here on the screen. Mind games. Trying to butter Spence up this is just my opinion. I'm not an in-ring performance expert, nor am I a mind reader, but I'm just looking at behavior patterns. He's talking to Spence on the phone, talking about their kids and all. What does that have to do with us getting in this ring rumbling? Nothing.
right.
We not talking about each other family. You the ops right now, bruh. I'm not talking
Right.
about your family. You don't need to talk about mine. Sign the contract and let's fight in that ring and get this big crazy money. That's all we need to talk about. We don't need to talk about nothing else. So I was like, what else is there to discuss if you agree to everything and you really want to fight me? If this fight don't happen, if we don't hear an announcement, y'all, by June, or this fight's not going to happen. That's just how it is right now. Because we keep waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And I wasn't here on YouTube. I've been finding stuff, trying to see what's been going on since I've been going. Is they talking? What's happening? And I still don't hear nothing. It's like, dog, listen, man, he only got a few
Hey,
weeks in my head
I be
for this
listening.
fight
I
to
be
happen.
what every day I be checking Marty. Every day I be checking. And check this out right here, man. The people don't understand. That's why I asked, like, what did Terence send EJ? Because if Terence didn't have that belt, he wouldn't even it wouldn't even be a conversation right now.
Right,
The
right.
only thing he's holding is that belt, man. He's holding that
And that's
belt
all he did.
hostage, man. And I don't know why this dude don't want to fight. I tell you, man, for $100,000, man, I'll fight anybody. I wouldn't care who you put in front of me. And these dudes talking about big money, man. We talking
Facts.
about checks, man. You can't, you talking about, generational wealth, man. Your kids, your grandkids gonna eat on this type of money, man. I don't
Right.
get it, man. I've
But
been in that
pride,
ring, man. I'll be in that ring. I'll bite his ear off like Evander Holy, like Tyson did Holyfield, man. Man, it was their fault, man. I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
that's Bud Pride, man. For real. That's what that is. You know, I was trying to speak on what Manager Marty was talking about uh when he was saying, how if Bud really wanted this fight, what would happen. But one thing that I wanted to say that I agree with Terrence Best videos is I wish Spence would stop being so cryptic, man. Put a name on that, man. Put a name on it, bro. You saying you starting to feel played by who? Just put him out there. Why not? Why not, man? I don't see why not. Just do it, bro.
Man, yeah, I feel like he's
Assume you
scared he's gonna
talking
run him
about
off.
Bud. Everybody gonna assume you're talking about Bud when you do stuff like that. So why not just
But
put the name on it, man? That make it look stronger to me.
but you
Even
gotta
though he
think about it
already
this.
said I don't want nobody else but Bud. So we
Yeah, but
know
you
what
gotta
we
think
got to
about
be talking about.
this way though. Earl Smith, Earl. I mean, yeah, Earl Smith probably looking at it like this, like, cause what we seeing is probably 100% real. What we seeing, like Terence Crawford probably really don't want to fight on Earl. Imagine what Earl said. Just say if this true that Terence Crawford. Imagine what Earl hearing and Earl. So Earl probably walking on eggshells, like I'm gonna say something, but I ain't gonna say his name. They put the pieces together, and
Man,
he's probably like, I
hey,
just think he
man,
don't want to
when
see them
you
all,
first
bro.
talking, hey, when you first meet a little chick, right? And you
Right.
trying to slide up in that thing, and you know how you being all, you all tiptoeing around and everything. You
Sorry,
already
ladies in the
knowing,
chat.
man.
I
Once I
You got
apologize
knock,
for
all the right,
saying
you already know once I
all the
knock
right
this
words
thing
come out.
down, all this gonna change, bro. So that's why I feel like EJ got like, man, I'm just gonna be cool. Trying to get him in the ring. I'm doing everything I
Yep,
can, y'all.
yep,
Trying to be
yep.
our gentle, but he ready to get at him though.
I think Bud came to the understanding of like, I'm good. I'm real good. But he's good. And he real good. Like, this a real big man with the same. And without a doubt, I believe Earl Smith can take Terence Crawford's best shot. I ain't talking about standing there like that. Ooh, gosh. Not nothing like that. I'm talking about, I believe that he could take his shot and do him just. That's why I say I think it's gonna be so easy. And not so easy. I'm saying I just think it's gonna be a hard fight, but I just think that it's gonna be at the beat of Earl Smith's drum. It's gonna be at
Hey,
the beat of his
hey, did
drum.
you see?
I don't think.
Did y'all see Derek James' video the other day when he said, "Yeah, when you talk about EJ and you're talking about Crawford, one fighter was built, one fighter was
Yeah.
made."
Yup.
You know what I
I
mean? And
I
he was
heard that
like,
one.
EJ,
Like,
E,
back.
He's like EJ, man. To go back to his first one of his first tough fights, that dude Lardy hit him real hard and hurt him. He like, man, we ain't bagged off competition. We put him
Right.
into somebody's next fight with somebody harder
That
than
was
that
better.
fight. You
Yup.
know what I mean? You know, say we made this dude right here, man. Man, we tested him in iron. You know what I
Cause you
mean?
got
Like, whereas you take
you got to think
Bud,
about it.
you
You
know,
got to
they
think
went
about it. Earl Smith. My bad for cutting you off. But think about it. Earl Smith, like exactly what Deborah James said. Earl Smith was fighting harder and harder competition. Everybody know that. You know what they forgetting? They forgetting that Earl Smith was just coming up too. They act like Earl Smith, like what he doing now. That that's how he's supposed to be when he on his debut. Like you know, what I mean? He learned, and everybody sees everything that he do. It may look the same to them, but if you really like somebody like Michael Jordan and all them, everybody, you know what I mean? Time we all went back and looked at a Michael Jordan game just because like we wanted to see what his foot placement was like, and like dang, like you know what I mean? So we all did. I know I did it. I went back and I seen how he tightened that thing up and how different things come out. How different things come out and like
Hey
I
man,
and they see it too. They see
hey,
hey,
it
hey,
too.
hey,
hey,
look, you
like,
have to
man,
always remember, Top
fight in
Rank said,
like 2 weeks, man. I hope
Huh?
Earl just go ahead and move on. I hope Earl just go ahead and move on and fight Keith Thurman. Cause I always wanted to see him fight Keith Thurman. And I know a
that's
lot of
gonna be a good
people.
fight.
I always wanted to
That's gonna be a
fight Keith
good fight.
Thurman. So
I don't.
I hope if it don't happen in 2 weeks, go ahead and move on. If it don't happen in 2 weeks, I don't think it's gonna happen. That's all I got to say. I'm out. Hey
I
man,
got you.
Here,
Salute to
man, man,
Hey,
smoke medicine, Marty, man. Everybody be safe. Have a good night, man.
salute, big dose.
Well, all
Let
right,
me
big
hey,
get
dog.
these.
look,
Let me
when
get
you
these.
think, go
Let
ahead,
me get these.
go ahead, manager.
Let me get these two super chats here. I'll get you two guys' last words before we clock out of here. Greg Quarterbaum again. Thanks, Greg, for your contribution, brother. Greg says, "Sorry, Marty. It has always been Al Heyman who stalled this fight. Terence Crawford agreed to what they discussed, but they sent a new date, which was not discussed. First time I'm hearing that one. You need me on the panel next time. Has EJ signed? Gregory Carterbaum, thank you for your contribution again. Anytime you want to come on the panel, in fact, on Friday evening, Greg, you can join the panel. We're going to spin the block and talk about some other things about this whole fight debacle and this ordeal and what should happen right now in our lives as fans of both of these fighters. So tune in on Friday. Come back on the panel, Greg. We'd love to have you. Thank you for your contribution. And then we have Rodzilla Jones. Somebody's feedback. I'm hearing feedback on somebody's line. You guys can mute your phone. Thanks, Rodzilla Jones, for your contribution. Appreciate your support. Rodzilla says, "Why Bud fans mad? Errol did all the heavy lifting." We'll talk a little bit about that as well on Friday evening. Thank you for your contribution again, Rodzilla Jones, and your support to the channel. Um, um, Carl, 30 seconds. Give us your last words. I know you're going to come back on Friday night when we spin the block on this thing. We love to have you again. 30 seconds. Give us your last words, my brother. What you got for us?
Man, it's always good coming here showing you love, Marty. I did. I said it in the chat. I missed you like a brother, man. For real. I was just like everybody else, coming up here, checking up, seeing what type of videos you had up. But I really don't have to do that because my notification was really, really good. You know what I mean? So I just ain't seen them, but I'm happy to see you back, and I'm definitely gonna be here Friday. I enjoyed my night. It was a good topic on a couple of things, and like I said, I'm always enjoying myself on your show, bro.
Always a pleasure, man. Anytime. Thanks, Carl Brown.
You
Appreciate you.
all
Look forward to see you again Friday. Um, Dog Money, 30 seconds. Give us your last words, Dog Money. What you got for us?
Hey, just like him, man. Glad you're back. Glad you had a good vacation. Always enjoy the intelligent boxing conversation that you produce for this channel, and I also enjoy your little short videos you be putting out. Roll the tape. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, man.
You
And
got it.
Friday, I'm gonna make it back too, man. And even if I don't make it back, I watch the videos anyway. You know what I mean?
I
If I don't
appreciate
catch it live, I catch them and I watch them. You know what I mean? At a later time. You know what I mean? I go through and go through your videos and I'll check and I'll. Oh, I missed this one. Let me watch that. You know, just like that, Manager Marty. And
appreciate your support.
for
Appreciate
sure,
you.
man. You have a good evening. You have a good evening.
You do the same, brother.
And,
Thank you so much.
all
Um,
right.
Blackstic and Bruce.
Hey, I got something to say to the chat.
Oh,
Hey, chat. Y'all quit talking about people so bad, man. You be read. I be reading some of them comments.
salute, Blackstic and Bruce. Um, I know I had you on there for long. I didn't even know you were in the background, or how long you were back there for. I'm going to clock out. I know I have to get up extremely early. I know the chat. I appreciate everybody for just sticking in for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I'm trying to get better with my time. Blackskin and Bruce, I still wanted to give you a little bit of ounce of shine, man, because I know you was back there. You're waiting. I apologize for the wait, brother.
All good.
So
Hey, it's your show, Marty. It's your show. But first, I want to say, I appreciate it, man, and any and all, who are tuning in. Be sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share. That gummit. But just, I only heard some of the stuff you guys were saying because I had a call come in and kind of kicked me out for a second, so I had to, log back in. But just so you know, for the sake of time, I'm gonna be honest, and this is a boxing point of view. Terence Crawford may say, okay, well, my health is important, or whatever the case is, for taking the testing, and he don't think that Errol is being tested for everything. Honestly, what I believe though is Errol said something when they were talking for that 45 minutes or 40 minutes or whatever. I believe Errol said something that said and when told Crawford, hey, I think I just found another way out without where I can point the finger at him. That's what I think honestly happened. Now again, that's actually what I believe may have happened. And Earl, Terence Terrence's back is against the wall. So he like all his opponents have said, okay, I'm not ready for you, or I need, I'm gonna fight somebody else. So there is no one for him to fight. So he has to find some way to blame Errol. And I think I believe Errol may have said something to him about the testing. Like, I haven't heard all the news as far as if Errol may be on medication to help him from his car accidents and stuff like that. And Earl's like, well, look, man, I'm already doing testing through the WBC, whatever they recommend. And he wants to make sure, he may think that, hey, one of his medications may conflict with, the testing to find him positive or something like that. But I honestly believe Duck Coward is just trying to find another way out, to be honest. And this is, from a boxing point of view, he has the right to say, oh, this is my health is important and all this other stuff. You're not the A side, for one thing. You've never asked any other opponent to do that. This is the biggest fight there is. So, but at the same time, you've never asked any other opponent. He's never been found guilty of any steroids, eating contaminated meat, or nothing like that. So it's like, okay, you're asking this for what reason again? To possibly find another way out, because he used up all the other lifelines as far as, what you agreed to terms and conditions for. I believe, I hate to say this with a passion, man, I believe he's just a narcissist who wants the attention and wants to be in control. I'm like, dude, you haven't passed any test for you to be in control. You're not your own promoter. You're not. If you were your own promoter, you probably could argue this in a little bit, but you're not, Duck Coward. And it's like there's no other options for you. And I just believe it was something that the Earl said to him that said, you know what, I need some way out of this fight. But people are not seeing it. They're missing it. Like you said earlier, his what he's saying and what he's doing are not painting the same picture.
yeah, that's Pretty much what I said, and very unique perspective. Looking forward to seeing you back again Friday evening to provide that perspective in full totality so we can get the proper context of your point of view and your perspective. We're going to spend a block on this topic, but we're going to go a little bit deeper now because at this point, we need to ask ourselves as fans, what should we do now that we're still here at an impasse and we don't know if this fight's going to happen or not? Should we move on? Should we not talk about it no more? How should we conduct ourselves as fans? We're going to dive into all of that on Friday evening. I look forward to seeing you again, Blackskin Bruce. Thank you for joining the panel, my brother.
Absolutely. Great
All
job,
right.
Mark.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it, man. See you Friday evening. To everybody else that's here, we're not doing any more 5-hour energy drinks. Tune in live in living color right here on
Yep.
Friday evening. We're going to discuss in full totality what should we do as boxing fans, hardcore and casual, with the impasse between Crawford and Spence in this fight. We're going to definitely talk about the weigh-in results between Devin Haney and Lomachenko, who will be competing on May 20th, the next day, which is Saturday evening, live and live in color on ESPN Plus. And I will leave you all with another special thank you to everyone here on the channel who was a part of this. Congratulations to me and the viewership here who was a part of this 500,000 of views, whether you like me or not, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, whether you joined the panel or not, whether you participated in the chat or not, whether you were YouTube beefing with me or not, whether your comments in the comment section were favorable or not. I thank and salute you all for your viewership. Thank you so much. I'll tune in with you all again Friday evening, live and live in color, right here on the Roll the Tape podcast with Manager Marty. I'm out. Peace and blessings to you all. Salute.